What's up, people? Oh, I'm so happy to be here. You just don't know. This has been the roughest month. Remember, first I had all my internet issues, and that sent me to the moon. And then that my experience with that sea place, Mexican thing that'll stay unnamed. And then I don't know, I just never seemed to be able to kick it. It just kind of lingered around, and then it got worse. So I'm on my second day. Wait, yeah, no, I'm on my third day now of antibiotics, which, have their own side effects. So I'm not feeling my best, but I'm better than I was earlier in the week. So I'm going to be here and we're going to do this dang show that was supposed to be done, Friday? I- Whenever it was supposed to be done. Anyway, we're doing it today, okay? No, Tuesday. This was our Tuesday show. Um, yeah. Wow. Anyway, I'm still a little bit out of it, so kind of bear with me. I'm glad all my usual support team is here because I don't know. It's going to be touch and go. But I'm going to do my very, very best. And I want to thank all of you for your kind well wishes and stuff because, I don't really like myself when I'm sick. I'm not good with sick stuff. And but it was very nice, to log on. I'm laying in the bed, I log on and see you guys all expressing your concerns and well wishes. That meant a lot to me, so thank you. And it kind of brightened my spirits, because I was really not in a good space. And I was mad. I was still mad about my internet. So this compiled with it, I was just in a bad mood. But seeing your kind words and a couple of you sent me a little change to get some ginger ale and stuff. I said, "Oh, that's so sweet." So I just wanted to publicly acknowledge you and thank you. You go over and above YouTube viewing audience kind of stuff. You guys really show you care and try to take care of a sister. So I appreciate that. So let's get started with what we're gonna have here. We got our Savage Sunday that was gonna be Flummox Friday that was gonna be What the Fuck Tuesday. But anyway, here we go. Okay, so this is our column. It looks like it has 24 questions. So let's go. You guys ready? This show, for those of you who just kind of wandered in, is an advice show that's been put off for almost a week while I recuperated. But people send in letters in advance, and then I read the questions on the air, and then I respond to them. So I'm seeing the questions the first time when you're seeing the questions, okay? So I don't, if you know, well, what do they mean, and what about this and that? I don't know any more about it than you do, okay? Now let's go. Female. This is question number one. Female, 45 to 50, from Logan City, Australia. Hmm. My boyfriend is 52. I'm 48, and we have been together for she put an S on the end, 8 years. The first 4 years, we had a normal amount of eggplant that I was happy with, but the last 4 years, we've had less and less each year. Now it's maybe four times a year, always involving alcohol. I have asked all the usual questions like, do you still love me? Is there someone else? Are you still attracted to me? And he always answers in the affirmative, but he has no answer for why we have no eggplant life. We are both in good shape and physically active. We are basically good friends in my mind now. He never kisses me and there's no affection, but we get along great. I asked him whether we were roommates slash best buds now, and he became angry and said, of course not. I'm not bragging, but men flirt with me all the time, and it makes me so frustrated and sad that my own guy has zero interest in me. I asked him politely numerous times in the last couple of years about talking to a doctor. Maybe he has testosterone issues or something else. He said he would, but he never does. I'm running out of patience. I'm communicating and trying to be understanding. Now I'm imagining us breaking up. A male friend who I'm mutually attracted to is flirting more and more. I'm feeling weak and emotionally and physically starved for love. What should I do? You should break up. You should have broke up a long time ago. I don't understand. See, this is refers back to my mantra for all women trying to decide if a relationship is for them or not. In addition to, the red flags that I've gone over in numerous videos, The number one bottom line is if you're with a man and he's not giving you the relationship that you want, you leave him. That means the commitment you want, the time that you want, the affection, the interest, the eggplant, I mean, whatever it is, he's not giving it to you. So why are you there? What is it that you're suffering for 4 years, begging and whining and pleading while this man just tells you no, 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 no? And you stay in the relationship. Why do you do that? So you say you've been together 8 years, you really only been together four. The rest of the time has been 4 years of a waste of your life. So what you do is you go to your 52-year-old non-eggplant having boyfriend and say, "Look, I don't know if you into the P sites, are you into kids, are you into men? It's gonna be one of them. Maybe you into Fidos. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's not you ain't into me." And so there's no reason for me to be here with you calling ourselves in a relationship. So you chuck up the deuces and then you be out. Now, should you go to this male friend? I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't like to for stuff to get messy. And so like this is a guy who knows your dude. You know what I mean? I mean it's like all the other men in the world, why would you have to deal with this one that knows your dude? That's just trifling. So you tell him no, you tell your boyfriend no, and you go and find one of the other 50 bazillion men on this planet to get busy with. Okay? It's not like those are the only two options here. So you don't do this, what you thinking you're gonna do because he's flirting and all of this stuff. He knows your dude. He knows that you guys were in a relationship. You don't want to mix that in where he's thinking you left dude for him and he's gonna be taunting dude because men are stupid like that. So just don't do that. Okay, just get rid of both of them and start fresh somewhere else in a new apartment, townhouse, condo, house, whatever your financial situation is, and with a new man in a new relationship, and you keep dude as a friend if you like. You get rid of your boyfriend, and you just, it's over. Okay. This just, you're 48, and you want to get some. I understand. So you go and you make that happen. Okay. You got men flirting with you all the time, right? Take one of them up on his offer, but don't do it with this friend guy. Okay. Number two, question number two. This is a male in the 21 to 25 age group from Radcliffe, Greater Manchester, England. She and I started out as co-workers. Thanks, cutie. She and I started out as co-workers and became really good friends over the course of the past 3 years. I regarded her as my sister, and she has stated on several occasions that she would always be there for me. She's been like family, which is important since I haven't been around my own family in years. Hmm, okay. Last week I was feeling a bit lonely since I didn't have any other friends in town at the time, so I reached out to her asking if we could hang out after work. She replied that she just had gotten into a relationship and would never have free time for me. This felt hurtful, and I lashed out strongly, texting her that it wasn't fair and that I wasn't asking for much. I immediately regretted this and sent an apology text, but the damage was done. So immature. She accused me of not being considerate of her boundaries and that I was being manipulative. I should have left it at this stage, but I had several other stressors in life, along with severe depression and anxiety. One of my biggest fears is I've been losing close friends. I thought our relationship was damaged and I wanted to regain control of the situation. I sent her several long texts, basically apologizing and asking her to forgive me and give me another chance. I realized this was the exact opposite of what I should have been doing, but I just couldn't seem to control myself. A couple of days later, she asked me to stop reaching out to her and blocked me across all social media. Do I have any hope of salvaging the situation at this point? Is it too late for me? What's worse is that we still have to work together, and I feel that the workplace has turned really toxic for me. She has other friends at work, and I'm basically all alone, having to watch her and her friends do things like we used to do together, like go to lunch or grab coffee. I have not been able to focus on anything, and I really don't think I can handle it if we do not resolve this based on everything else going on in my life. Okay, let me figure out how I'm going to say this to you. You a fucking asshole. That's how I'm gonna say it to you. Everything in here is about you. Well, I have these stressors and I have this and I'm lonely and I don't have no friends and I have all this stuff going on in my life and how, I want this and all that. It's all about you, you little narc. So what I'm gonna tell you is she put up a boundary, okay, and in spite of the fact that you put her in this family classification, she's not your family. She's a coworker. Okay, so you putting way too much on it. You are trying to burden her with resolving your emotional issues. That's not her job. Her job is to do whatever these people that y'all's company are paying her for. That's the only thing she's obligated to do. She has another man that she's spending time with, and she got work and she's got other responsibilities. So her free time is now going to be spent with dude. You, not you. Okay, and any man other than a relative, even relatives understand that. So I'm really, I'm lonely. She has coffee. Do you know how crazy you sound? You sound like a stalker. I'm going to suggest this: get out and make yourself some friends. Go join a gym. Okay, join a basketball team. Play basketball with some dudes. Go out with the dudes and have beers after y'all play your games and stuff. Or join a softball team. I mean, all with COVID opening up, all kind of stuff is being touted again. Group activities. You need some so you can get some friends and get some activities and get something going on in your life that's positive. Alternatively, and possibly in addition to, you should see a shrink because you talking about you have a severe depression and anxiety. That's too much of a burden to put on her. You lucky because if it were me and you were sending me all this kind of stuff like that, I would report your ass at work and say that you're harassing me and get you fired. See, that's how I do stuff. I done told you to stop and you gonna keep it up anyway. The next thing you gonna be out of a job. And if you don't have no backup thing and can't get a job, then you're gonna be homeless and all kinds of fucked up. Why? Because you wouldn't leave me alone. So see, that's how I do stuff. So she's very nice to you. Cause I would make sure that your ass was out of my life, out of my job, out of money, and out of an apartment. Just out. That's how I do stuff. If I tell you to leave me alone, that's what I mean. And you need to get busy doing it. But instead, is there any way can I salvage it? There's nothing to salvage. She's done with your ass. Done. Okay? If you having a hard time at this job, put your resume together and get the fuck on. That's what you need to do. But you leave this girl alone before you can see the unknown element in all of this is her boyfriend. Is he crazy? Like if I were somebody's boyfriend and some dude was harassing my girlfriend like that, me and a couple of my bros would roll up on you and we would have a conversation. And believe me, it wouldn't end too well for you. So you don't know what kind of dude she's dating or who he knows. You need to watch your step because some of these dudes are like me, but they're just men and some are even worse. So you keep fucking with her and he's gonna feel like he needs to defend her and protect her from you, and that's when it's gonna become all bad for you and you're gonna wish that you had listened to me. So leave this girl alone before something really bad happens to you and you be sitting there wondering why you need hospitalization or worse yet a coroner. Okay, so leave her alone. Let's move on to question number 3. We got 24 questions for those of you who just wandered in. 24 questions today. My first day back in a week. And I tell you, I'm happy to be here though, but I'm still feeling kind of drag ass. But we're going to do this. So, question 3, this is a female in the 37 to 45 age group from Long Beach, California. She says, okay, this might be too complicated to pull together, but I'll try. If it's that complicated, then don't write until you put it together. But let's see, how long is this shit you done so announced here? Sorry. Oh, long as shit. I'm going to be skimming over this. Okay, I'm an established executive, no financial problems, excellent credit score, yeah, a couple of properties. I have an opportunity to move to another state for my job. Since I'm absolutely against renting an apartment and I can afford it, I want to buy a condo. I've applied for a loan. It looks like it will be approved, but it's taking a bit of time. In the meantime, I have found a great unit, remodeled, move-in ready in a great neighborhood. The problem is the seller is looking to close quickly due to circumstances. The agent believes the cash offer will close the deal. He has three other offers over the asking price. Wow, bidding war. But they are also financed and waiting on paperwork. Hmm. My boyfriend of 6 years offered to buy the place cash and lease it to me for as long as I need it, with an option to buy it from him later if I still love the place. Okay. Too long to explain, but I know about lease options. Come on now. But due to some other business related things, I've been able to show proof of residency in order to qualify for the housing allowance for my company. So it means I need to have a mortgage or pay rent, right? Asked my boyfriend about rent, and he says, I'm okay with you not paying anything, just utilities or whatever you decide is fair to satisfy your employer for the housing allowance. I feel weird about the offer. He's financially stable and happens to have cash in the bank where my funds are tied up. He's honest when he says he'll be good with anything. He knows I'm financially secure, so it's not like I'm trying to tap into his wallet. We've kept our finances separate our entire relationship. We each keep a home, take turns living in each other's places to keep things fresh and interesting. All our dates and travel are split down the middle, which has made life really simple. We buy each other gifts sometimes, and those are not split. Going through with this generous offer makes things a bit murky, don't you think? Do you have any suggestions on how to make this work without compromising financial independence? I realize this falls under good problem to have category since we are both hugely successful due to decades of hard work. I don't want to make an issue out of it if you see it that way. For a bit of history and context, I lost a lot, and she put that in caps, of money in my divorce. So once I recovered, I vowed never to commingle finances again. I feel like I've done a great job so far. For some reason, this one is me scratching my head. Okay, I'm ready to get cussed out if needed. Well, the only part that I would be irritated about is the length of this shit. Half of this you could have left out. But I do have a solution. Ye and thee is going to take both of y'all's little asses to an attorney, and you're going to draw this document up. Okay, with the lease option, how much of the money you're going to be paying him is going to be going towards the option or whatever down payment, whatever you ever want to word it, and then you're going to move in, and you're going to have this doc. So do everything legally, okay? Because you guys are both business people. There's no reason for this to be causing you all this angst and consternation. Just go get the document drawn up that sets this out in written form. What each party's supposed to do, dates is supposed to happen, whatever. How much money he's gonna take from you before it rolls over to. I mean, however you want to work it out. You guys have to talk that out and do it. And then it's a business deal. It's not like he's, just spending his money on you, even though it sounds like that he would be fine with doing that because you've already proven yourself to not to be a leech. So I don't know. See, personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it because I just feel like, you've already proven, he's proven that he's cool. You've proven that you're cool. Neither one of you trying to use each other. I mean, this is an established relationship. It's not like you just met this dude. And he's trying to help you out so that you don't suffer. That's what a man who cares about a woman is supposed to do. But since you're the one having the issue with it, I suggest you take just line everything up with an attorney and have it all signed and all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed. And I think that will alleviate a lot of your concerns because it'll be, everything will be spelled out exactly and written out with performance, money, time, everything required of both parties. And then I think you'll be all right. Question number 4, and I know you asked this, I don't know how long ago this was, but with everything, being put off for a week, you probably already did whatever you was going to do. Okay, question number 4, female 26 to 29 out the UK. I'll try and keep this short. But basically, I thought my boyfriend of 9 years was going to propose to me this month, and I've now realized that we're going on a trip to somewhere it would have been lovely to propose at the end of the month. And he's been saying for a long time that he's planning on proposing, quote, soon, and has made loads of romantic suggestions for things we could do on the trip. So I was really thinking that this would finally be it. But last night we were talking, and he said, I'm definitely not going to propose to you when we're in X, by the way. I really need you to know that. I don't want you thinking that's going to happen. The way he said it, I know it's true. I was really upset but didn't want him to see it. So I just said, okay, and tried to move the conversation on. He wasn't even saying it in a way where I thought he was being mean. I could tell he was just freaked out that I had got my hopes up, which of course I had. Okay, 9 years. I just want to make sure I understand this. So as to not drip feed, we're late 20s. We've been together since school, own a house. He always talks about marriage in the future with concrete plans. Until recently, I had no reason to think he's not serious. I've been saying it's really something I want to do soon for about 18 months to 2 years. But he always uses money as a reason not to do it now. Just before Christmas last year, I got really upset about it. And he told me he was planning on proposing really soon. So to stop asking about it, and he had a ring and a plan for how to do it. I was so happy. A couple of months later, by accident, I found out that he didn't have a ring and apparently had wanted to propose at New Year, but with COVID and a new lockdown, he had delayed it. I felt so stupid for believing him, and I made up my mind I would set a deadline. Wait, I lost my place. I would set a deadline in my head for him to propose by, or I was leaving. The only problem is I keep getting drunk and upset and asking when he's going to propose, and he says it's stressing him out more and more, and I need to shut up about it or I'll ruin the experience for him. I've suggested multiple times we just set a date and get married at a registry office. I don't even want a big romantic proposal, but he said he wants to do that. We're not quite at my deadline yet, but getting close. I just feel so stupid that yet again I've got my hopes up and it won't happen. I'm starting to think it never will. Hmm. Should I trust that he's planning something and that me constantly asking is ruining experience, or should I just cut and run? I don't know how much more explaining my feelings I can do. He knows how I feel, but just keeps seems to keep prioritizing how he feels about it all. Well, of course he is. But I'm going to tell you this. Why in the world would you date someone for 9 years? Why in the world would you let a man keep telling you soon, soon, soon for like 2 years? That's what it sounds like for at least a year and a half, right? Because this is June. And it's been at least a year and a half you've been hearing soon, soon, soon. And yet, nothing has happened. And yet, you're not engaged. And I would say that, this kind of thing here, even if you did get proposed to, he's the kind of guy who would drag off setting a date. So you would have a ring, but it would be what I call a shut up ring, which is just to shut you up about getting proposed to. So you would be engaged for another 9, 10 years. All in all, my dear, I don't see anything here. You want something. You want some kind of permanency. You want commitment. You want a husband. You want to start having children. You want things to be lined up socially and spiritually, and if religion is involved here, in line with your faith. You want all those things before you start breeding children, and I'm all with you on that. The problem I'm having here is that you keep begging this man to give it to you, and he keeps resisting. At some point, you gotta you feel like, well, explain. I'm explaining. No, you're begging. That's what you're doing. You think he's stupid? Is his IQ 12? He understands fully what you're talking about. He knows what you want. The only way that you even stand a chance of getting it, like I said, is leaving him. Let him feel what it's like for you not to be there. But then again, he might be okay with that. There's a chance you have to take. Either you stay in this situation and keep getting dragged along, which, like I said, I anticipate you're going to keep getting dragged along even after you get the proposal, or you cut bait and you find a man who's ready to do what you're ready to do, and he's ready right now. Okay? So you have to think about that. Which one do you want? Personally, I would have been gone. He would have got 2 years max, and then I would have been out. And said, right now, you could be almost celebrating your 10th anniversary with the husband that you would have had instead of wasting time with this fool. So you think about it, because you're just doing things backwards. You moving in, you buying property, you're doing wife things, but you're not a wife. And then you mad because he doesn't feel any pressure and urgency to marry you. That's because he's already got except for a kid, he's got every single thing, every single benefit that he could get from being married to you, he's already getting it. So there's no reason for him to marry you. That's the part you young girls just don't fucking get. You move in with men, you sleeping with them. You having their babies, you buying a house with them. You buy dogs with them. You travel all over the world with them. You buy their mother presents and do all the stuff like those are your in-laws. You do everything like you're somebody's wife, but you don't have any kind of ties to this man under the law. You don't have any of the legal protections, and you're not his wife. And yet you try to act like one, and then you get mad. Well, we do everything like a husband and wife. No, you don't, because you ain't said I do. All right? So you're not a wife. And I don't understand why so many girls are just so desperate to be up under these men like this. You give every single bargaining chip that you have to make him want to be with you away, and then be mad because you're not married. That's a bonehead monkey move. Okay, that's not how you handle yourself. Thank you. You're just doing this all wrong. So what you need to do is tell him, look, I've waited long enough. I'm done. I don't have any more time or energy to invest in this. I'm going to get myself an apartment by the end of the week, and I'll send some movers to get my things. I'm going to go stay with my mother until then. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. Forget you know me. I'm so over this. And then you leave and watch his stunned and shocked face. And then you stay gone. Don't play games like you're going to just, this is a game. That's what he's expecting. You go and you find yourself someone else, okay? Because this is a waste of your time. Question number 5. And this is a female in the 21 to 25 age group from Charlotte, North Carolina. Deb, I know this might sound petty, but I want to know if I'm right to be mad. I love petty. Petty is best. My boyfriend and I live in a rented apartment and we have laundry on site, but we have to pay with coins to use the washing and the drying machine. Yeah, that's normal. My boyfriend does his own laundry and so do I. The thing is that it's really hard to get change. I normally only use my credit card, so I have to get the money out of the ATM and then get change by buying something or just asking at the stores. Whenever I have change, I save it to wash my clothes. My boyfriend is always asking me for change because he never has enough. Maybe he has some but needs more and I have to give him my change. He gets mad if I tell him I want to save my coins. I know it's not a big deal, but I'm not a person that likes to ask for things. I want to have my money handy when I need it, and if I give it to him, that means he will owe me and I will still have to keep asking for my change back. Yeah. The other day I went to a laundromat on purpose and washed my clothes there just so I could get a bunch of change. They have machines there to get quarters. So I got myself a bag of quarters since I was washing there, and I was happy I would no longer have an issue and I could wash my clothes at my apartment building anytime. I had put the bag with change in my drawer. Yesterday my boyfriend washed and he took my change without my permission, so now half of the bag is gone. He basically stole half of my change. Should I be upset that he doesn't get his own change and just keeps asking or stealing from me? He says we're supposed to share because we're a couple. He's absolutely right, but it doesn't make sense for us to ask each other for quarters all the time instead of having our own. I don't like doing that. I don't understand why he can't be responsible with his change instead of asking me. What do you think? Should I just willingly give him all my change even though I need it? Nope. This is what you do. Okay. This is what you do. Get you a safe. Get you a safe and you put all your important papers in it as well as your laundry change. And then you put it in your closet, right? And don't give him the combination. And then he's gonna come asking, "Oh, I need some change." It's like, well, then take your happy ass to the laundromat and with your $10, $20, whatever, and stick it in the machine and get the quarters you need, and then drive your ass back here and then wash your clothes. Better yet, take them to the laundromat and wash them. I don't know what you want me to do, but I'm not your mother, and I'm not your bank, and I'm not gonna be fueling your laundry issues. Because like, if I moved out and you was the only one living here, what would you do? You would get to change, and that's what you're going to do now. So I'm tired of you, taking my kindness for weakness. I'm tired of you sponging the change that I get for myself. You're acting totally irresponsible, like I'm responsible for you. I'm not. We are a couple. It's supposed to be a partnership, but I feel like you don't hold up your end of the bargain. These kind of things, people might say, "Well, that's petty and that's small," and you're right. To will say that, but they don't understand the context of what this means in your relationship. He is not holding up his end of the responsibility for himself and is instead putting responsibility for himself on you. And every time you give him quarters, I mean, everybody's gonna have an emergency. Well, you need two, you don't have, something like that. That's not a big deal. But he's like taking your money, just like taking it. That's essentially, unless he's putting like he took $10 of the quarter, unless he puts $10 back in your change drawer, he's stealing your money. That's what that's doing. He's taking your change, the effort and energy that you put to make sure you had, stuff to be prepared, and he's just like, whatever, you have it and I wanted it, so I'm taking it. That's his attitude. And see, to me, that warrants a total cuss out. That warrants a cuss out. And then, like I said, get the safe. And then watch his expression. Say, I will never give you another quarter for your laundry. You're going to figure out what to do. You're going to wash your shit in the sink. I don't care what you do. But it's not my responsibility, and I refuse to have that burden put on me. I take care of my stuff like an adult. You need to do the same. And that's just it. Yeah, exactly, nerd Sue. This is it. This is the people dodging responsibility and accountability as an adult for what he needs to do. Because, like I said, anything that if you weren't there, what would he do? How would he handle this? And whatever way answer he gives you, that's what you tell him. Well, that's what you need to do now. Just because you ain't getting shit from me like that. I already cook and clean and stuff like that. I'm not doing this. Is you doing you? This is too much. You're overburdening me with responsibility for your life while you just laze around and do whatever you want to, and then try to make me be responsible for it and get mad at me when I say no. I don't know. See me, I'm just such a bitch because I would be like, motherfucker, let's break up. Just so I can make you go get your own quarters from wherever you're going to get them from. Because I don't want to be bothered with you. And I'm going to have my own apartment. And then I'm going to wash my clothes at my apartment. And you can wash your clothes at yours. And I won't have to be bothered with you and your sponging ass. Yeah, exactly, Christine. They always want to live with some monkey and then have all these problems. Why you guys want to live with a man? If you need a roommate to help you pay bills and stuff, get you a girlfriend. Get one of your friends. Y'all split a place together. Get a house, and it's nicer anyway. You can have a backyard and all kind of stuff going on. Two or three of y'all can share a house, and it's much less expensive and it's nicer anyway than living with a boyfriend. Because inevitably it's gonna be some bullshit like this, where they're gonna be trying to put you in the role of being their mother, and it's like, what do y'all get out of that? I don't understand it. Because you just talking about some dick. All you got to do is call him up, and he'll come right over, Johnny on the spot, to give you that. Then you could kick him out, because he's just gonna make a mess and want to eat up everything. Say no, go to your house, get out. We're done here, sir. My needs have been met. Goodbye. And then just send him on his way. I don't really see the benefit to living with a man. I feel like even if I was married again, I want a separate house. Let's get a duplex. And I'll live upstairs and you can live downstairs because I hate people bumping around over my head. So I have to be upstairs and you be downstairs. And we could, go back and forth and visit with each other and stuff. But I want my own space. I don't want to live with a man anymore. It's just too much trouble. They're just too nasty and they noisy and they smoke and they, snore and they stink and they just be bothersome, always wanting something. No, won't sit at your house. Get away from me. But that tends to be something I think young girls need to experience so they understand what it is. No, girl, Kimberly, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. That's why you see a lot of like, older women when their husbands die and or they get a divorce and stuff, they don't be in a hurry to get remarried. They just enjoy being by themselves and going on trips with their other widow friends and, just hanging out and just doing what they want to do for the first time in their lives without some man bothering the fuck out of them, whining about stuff. Men don't understand how much trouble they are sometimes. They just, there's some exceptional ones, but the majority of them are more trouble than they worth. And they always want something. Whew, and I just don't want to be bothered. Shit, half the time I don't even want to do what I want. So it's like, what you do? I'm gonna look like doing something what somebody else wants. So anyway, to answer, you heard what I said. Go find you a safe. You can probably get one on Amazon. Question number 6, female, 21 to 25, from Scarborough, Canada. Scarborough. We made contact last Friday on a dating app and met this morning. Ooh, I wonder when she sent this. On his profile, he had pictures of him in nice shirts. Once we started texting, he sent me an extra picture, again in a nice shirt. He sent me an audio on WhatsApp, and there's his profile. Shows him in a nice sport jacket, and he is perfectly groomed. He showed up at our first meeting in an old hoodie with a baseball cap that was ripped in front and washed out jeans. He had the hood of his hoodie on his head the whole 2 hours we spent together. We looked like Lady and the Tramp. It was so embarrassing. Other than that, he was a perfect gentleman. He even brought me 3 red roses. After the meeting, he texted me that he was very nervous and he's looking forward to seeing me again. If it wasn't for the tacky way he was dressed, I'd meet him again. Is there a kind way to address this with him? Ha ha! This reminds me of the night I met my husband. Oh my God. Okay, for those of you who heard the story, my apologies, but it's the same kind of situation. We met, it was a hookup thing. So, I had never met him before, I never seen him. And so at least you saw WhatsApp and you had pictures of him and stuff. I didn't even have that. So I'm going with to this party that his relatives were having. He told me where it was. I went, and I'm standing there in this line right to get a drink, and I see these 2 dudes come in, and one of them was like 6'5", and the other one was about maybe 5'10", and he just was looking a hot mess. Oh my God, the clothes this boy had on. He had on some of these like red. I don't know if you guys know what pimp socks are. They were like these nylon socks from the 70s and 80s that had like lines in them. I don't know how to describe them, but they were like nylon, I think, or some kind of I don't know what it was made out of, to tell you the truth. But they just looked. They had these like lines in them, and so he had on some of those. He had on these red pants, and he had this yellow, black, and some red and something because the red picked up from the pants, paisley shirt on, and it was looking all satiny and shiny and shit. Oh my God, he just looked like he was gonna start bursting out a song like Ricky Ricardo or something. And I remember standing there in the line looking at the 2 dudes saying, "Oh Lord, I hope it's not that little short one." Of course it was. It was him. Girl, I'm telling you, that's what they used to call him. Pimp. My cousins used to call him pimp socks. I don't know really what they were, but that's what they always called him. So that's what I call 'em. And then come to find out it was him, and honey, that scruffy beard he had, and that he didn't have a hoodie on, but he may as well have had one on. And then he had his hair in his ponytail. Oh, it was just a hot mess. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, my brother, you need a total makeover. And I just couldn't, like our first picture of us together, right? His aunt took it, and he was sitting right here, and he's like leaned in on this elbow, leaned in at me with showing all these teeth like a wolf. And I'm leaned back looking at him like, like kind of with this expression on my face. It's the funniest shit you've ever seen in your life. And and then I didn't want to go out with him anymore. I just could not. I mean, he was perfect gentleman, like you say here. I mean, I swear this is like dead on. That's why I'm laughing. He was a perfect gentleman, polite, got me drink. I mean, he did everything. He was just the sweetest person. But I just could not get past what he was looking like and how he was dressed. And so, but he told my brother, and then my brother told, pulled his coat. And so, dude, he had a cousin who was a barber, and honey, I'm telling you, this is a true. This really happened. I'm standing in the line, and I remember saying to myself, "Oh my God, I hope it's not that little short one." Because I mean, compared to somebody 6'5", that was one of his cousins. He was short. But I mean, in reality, he's 5'10". He's not that short, but he looks short compared to the other dude. And so I'm like, oh my God, this is just awful. This is a disgrace. What is wrong with my brother to think I want to go out with this person with this furry face? Look at a hot mess with these polyester East Oakland clothes on. I was so done. I was so through. But my brother pulled his coat, and then he got his hair cut, had a little fade on there and stuff. Got that beard trimmed off. He just had the doohickey right here, so I could see he had dimples and really nice skin and nice smile and nice eyes, but you couldn't see none of that because that furry face thing was happening. He just looked up like a bear. I wasn't feeling it at all. And so when he came to my house to take me out on the second date yes, girl, Nerly, I'm telling you, when I opened the door and I saw him, I was like, oh wait, and what your name is, and that was it. It was on after that. But see, I just could not get past this look. So I'm gonna. Oh, anyway, I told you that story, girlfriend, because I want you. You know, you say he's a perfect gentleman. Evidently, you guys had a little rapport. What you have to do is say, the pictures that you sent me before, not like I'm stuck on pictures or anything, but I'm wondering, were you coming from doing some kind of sports or working or something? I mean, why were you, did you present yourself in such a way? It was kind of disappointing because it looked like you didn't really put into in much effort when you were coming to meet me, and it hurt my feelings. That's how you're going to present it to them. Use guilt; it works well, and then ask, just say that to him. It's like, so he can think about it. Like, yeah, I didn't put any effort. Why did I do that? I sent her all these pictures of me looking all dapper and cool and like GQ and shit. And then I show up here looking like some kind of welfare recipient bum that lives in a parking lot in a box. So, what's going on here? Yeah. So I'm like, this is, that's why anyway, that's why I told you that story because I think a lot of guys don't understand. They always, the typical scenario is that men are the ones who are visual. Women are just as visual. We like a man who, when we look at him, you can say just what I said. Like, oh, hey, hi, what your name is? And be looking at him like, ooh, I can't wait to get you horizontal. See, that's if men thought like that and put more effort into looking good. Now I know them pickup artist people call it peacocking, but they be wearing like black fingernail polish and weird hats and crazy looking makeup and shit. No, I want you to look like a man, not some androgynous, whatever, Edward Scissorhands looking fool. We're not talking about that. I want you to look like a man. I want you to bring out your masculinity. Let me see how handsome you are. Conduct yourself like something. Let me see that bod you've been working out at the gym to get so tight. Let's see it. Okay, that's what we want to see with the men that we go out with. So, showing up looking like some fucking homeless person. Ain't nobody gonna get excited about that. And these dudes who want to wear jerseys and baseball caps and sneakers everywhere, and your ass is 40. Edward Scissorhands looked a hot mess. That's what I'm saying. Like that yuck factor. And they just don't get it. So that's what my suggestion anyway for how you should handle that and see what he does for date number two. So tell him, if we're gonna go. I was thinking about date number two because you were such a gentleman, but I'm just not really sure because that you just didn't seem like you put in much effort, so it didn't seem like I was really that important to you. So I don't know if a date number two is warranted. You see what I mean? Lay the guilt on and lay it on thick. Manipulate his mind. So next time he gonna show up in a fucking tuxedo. Question number 7. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Los Angeles, California. A guy who's 23 and me, I'm 21, started seeing, huh? Oh, okay, I see it. A guy I started seeing turns everything into something sexual. I know you hate online dating, but I have to tell you that the guy I started seeing, I met on Tinder. And we went on a couple of dates. He already kissed me on the first date, but I did not mind, honestly. Everything went great. However, now, after 2 weeks of casually seeing each other, he started turning every conversation into something sexual. He texts dirty all the time, reminding me how sexy I was when we made out and how naughty I am, really. And you haven't cussed him out yet? Just a reminder, I haven't slept with him. Every time we're together, his hands are all over me, even though I just want to talk and enjoy the moment. I told him a few times I'm not comfortable with that, doing that, and what to wait a bit because we're not dating or anything. He always says he understands it. He keeps sending me photos with a caption, "Hope you will be without your bikini the next time," while he was in the pool. I don't want to seem like a prude or anything. I love eggplant and everything like that, but this time I genuinely wanted something serious and to get to know him a bit. I am sick and tired of everything being sexualized with men. It's a huge turnoff for me. What should I do? You should block him. See, this is okay. A couple, and actually, I was gonna do a video, but then I fell sick. Um, because a couple of weeks ago, in the show, one of the responses I was talking about how young women don't have enough standards and boundaries regarding, I mean, just from the gate, with how much access they allow a guy to have to them and the type of guys that you allow to have access to you. There doesn't seem to be any standards or any boundaries. You guys, you don't say no. There's no hurdles for them to jump over, no hoops for them to jump through, no rules for them to follow, no nothing. You don't have anything in place. Just whoever wants to talk to you, you open the door and let them talk to you. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be screening men. Okay, you're supposed to be screening them. And since I didn't get to do the video, I'm gonna just talk about it now. In a situation like this, he starts violating your boundaries. Okay, because you told him um, that you're not comfortable doing that and you want to wait. Okay, that's some bullshit right there. Okay, that's not how you talk to clowns like this. You say, back the fuck up. Keep your fucking hands off of me. I didn't give you permission to touch me, motherfucker. That's how you talk to men like this. And then, he's telling how sexy you were. It's like, well, I was sexy, but you aren't. You like a fucking leech. Like you so desperate, you ain't never had no pussy before. How you come off thirsty and shit. This so unattractive. You so desperate and shit. It's just fucking turn off. See, that's how I would talk to him. That's how I would talk to him. And so, because he's 23 and he's feeling like, well, if I met you on Tinder, then it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be on like Donkey Kong. And, like he's just going to be getting all this free ass. And my thing is, when a guy, like I have already said many, 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 many times, if a guy comes at you like this is lack of respect. Once a guy shows you that he does not respect you, he's just looking at you as a vehicle for him to place his dick with no regard for who you are as a woman, your needs, your emotions, nothing. He just wants to bone because you have an available vagina. In a situation like that, you cut him loose because he's not. You could be anybody. So you've putting all this angst and energy into trying to figure out and talk to him and explain and all this kind of stuff. You wasting time. This motherfucker don't care about you. He just sees you as a pussy. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now, once you accept that, which I'm glad you wrote to me so you could get, real clear on that. Once you understand when a guy talks to you like this, ladies, any of you listening to this as well, a man comes at you like this, there's no respect there at all. He's not trying to know you at all. He doesn't give a fuck about you at all. This is something to do and something for him to get his dick in for free. That's what that means. Okay, now if you were the smart kind of girl, you would say, well, I have an OnlyFans page and you can sign up and it'll be $250. Okay, then he'll be like, well, why should I have to pay? Well, because what you think he was going to fuck me for free? Is that what you thought? It ain't that kind of party, motherfucker. You ain't that cute. So let's just get real jiggy with it right now. Just get you understanding. So they would try to treat you like a hoe, then you charge them. And charge them a lot, 500, 1,000, whatever number comes to your mind, whatever you want, whatever make you happy. That's up the figure that you throw out. Since he want to be acting like he gonna be getting something for free, say no, 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 we don't do freebies here, motherfucker. You pay, and that little $30 that you paid for that dinner, that ain't gonna get it. I'm talking about hundreds. I'm talking about thousands. That's what you need to be shelling out if you want to get some of this. Now, other than that, get off my phone because you're wasting my time. I don't, I'm just saying it's the kind of thing like, and then of course you're gonna block him and everything. But see me, I just like the petty part of me. I can't just let this slide. I'm gonna have to slam him in some kind of way because the way you coming at me after, especially after I already told you it ain't that kind of party, but you're gonna insist on it anyway. So whatever comes out of my mouth, you just gonna take it. You just gonna deal with it. And I don't have no qualms about hurting your feelings of your past, your feelings of your present, the feelings that you have in the future. All of them, I'm gonna hurt them all because you did not listen to what I said. And then you block him after you hurt his feelings. Question number 8. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I had a first date yesterday with someone I had great conversation with over the phone. But when we met, I just wasn't feeling it. I could tell he was trying to figure me out. He was pleasant and he called afterwards to make it known he was definitely interested and wants to see me again. I told him I was open to it and we left it at that. But I'm wondering if I should bother to go on one more date with him. I don't want him to get his hopes up. Hmm. How many dates do you suggest a single woman give it when deciding if you want to continue seeing someone? I okay, there's okay. Well, let me just explain my thought process. If the guy is cool, like there's nothing really wrong with him. You just, had built up some expectations that weren't realized. And but it was a pleasant time. You enjoyed his companionship and all this kind of stuff. Then I say two. Because a lot of people don't do first dates well. They're so nervous, they really like you, or they have all this stuff built up of these expectations, like you seem to. And so they're not really comfortable yet. They're not really who they could be. You don't really, they're so stiff, they don't really show their funny personality side. They're, too uptight and stiff. So they're not making jokes, and you don't really get to see their true personality on the first date. So I would say if the person hasn't really done anything that turns you super off or done anything rude or nasty or anything like that, second date, if they're interested, is a good chance, right? Isn't that what I just talked about with me? This first date was like, oh, hell to the no. But the second date, I was like, oh, wait a minute, there might be something here. But so I say the second date, okay? If you want to, you can let them know. Well, I'm kind of on the fence about it, but I have to, consider the fact that it was the first date and not everybody, shows their best self on the first date and stuff. So, with that in mind, if you still want to go on a second date, we can. But if you don't, you looking for immediate sparks and all that, then we can pass. It's no hard feelings, and I won't be upset. So that's how I would handle it. But of course, now if you're on the first date and the guy behaves like the guy in the letter before, where you want to everything sexual, he makes inappropriate comments, he's rude, he talks about stuff he shouldn't be talking about, he tries to touch you inappropriately, he's leering at other people, flirting with other people, he's off somewhere, he's doing drugs, or he shows up drunk, or he shows up crazy, then the answer to a second date would be a flat no. We're not doing that. Okay. But, he hasn't really done anything bad, improper. I mean, why not? But like I said, just explain to him what your thoughts are so that he's prepared if at the end of the second date you say, well, I tried it, not really happening. You're cool and everything, but I'm just not feeling anything that would make me want to go on date number three. And so then he'll be like, oh, okay. Question nine. But then he might be just on the same page as you and be like, yeah, me either. Question nine. This is a female in the 22 to 25 age group from Amarillo, Texas. Ooh, the guy I'm seeing hangs out one on one with his female friends who he slept with in the past. Oh, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. How do you suggest I proceed? We are really hitting it off, but I can't shake this icky feeling that he still goes on one walks slash meetings with the girls in his friend group that he was sleeping with prior to our meeting. He's very transparent about it all and tells me that they're all part of some larger group for friends, so it's impossible for them to be actually apart. I do get that, I guess, but why would he continue going on private walks with them where they talk about very private issues like depression, etc.? It's sort of weird to me that he slept with them in the first place and that they even remain close in the larger group, but specifically the one on one closeness. Some of them already have boyfriends, and I don't know how they're cool with that, too. He claims to me that him and those girls were never dating, just hooking up, but that when he broke off the hookup, he cried. And he tells you this? I asked why he was emotionally attached if they were just hookups, and he said it was because he thought they were good people, so he felt bad for hurting them. I just don't know if I'm normal for feeling weird about these one on one walks and hangouts. What are your thoughts? Am I just being paranoid? Nope. Your boyfriend is stupid. And okay, the fact that he would tell you all of this stuff, see, I don't know. I don't really want to be bothered with a man who's got women friends, especially, I mean, unless it's like somebody he grew up with from childhood and diapers in the crib and stuff. But you two running up here talking about, you and your 25, you 25, 35, and suddenly you got a female friend. No, motherfucker, no, you don't. No, you don't. You gonna have that friend, or you're not gonna have me. That's what's gonna happen to you. I'm your friend, bitch. Okay, that's it. That's the only friend you get that's a female. If it ain't your sister, it ain't your aunt, it ain't your niece or cousin or something like that, which I'm going to verify. Don't be showing up talking about this is my cousin and well, who's your mama and stuff like that. Don't we not doing that? You know, 'cause niggas be showing up with having all kind of cousins that you don't nobody know they ain't related to nobody, but they a play cousin. No, we're not doing that either. And you ain't definitely hanging out with no bitch that you fucked. Okay, there's limits here to my understanding and my patience, and that's one boundary that we just don't. Once you got, see, you can't be friends with somebody that you fuck, because once you fuck them, they're lovers, they're ex-lovers. Those aren't friends anymore. You friends with somebody that you never slept with. That's a friend. You once you fucked, you morph from friendship into lovers, ex-lovers, past lovers, however you want to put it. Okay, you're not friends anymore. So basically, what you got is your boyfriend hanging out with his ex lovers. That's what he's doing. And you okay with it. See, I wouldn't be okay with that. And I would tell him either you stop doing this or we're through. I'm not telling you got to do it, stop doing it, but I'm telling you I'm not going to tolerate it and I'm not going to be here for it. Okay, so you got all the time to spend around other women. That's time you should be spending with me. And the fact that you want to be making time in which should be our time for our relationship to go around a bunch of bitches, well, then you're going to get to go around a bunch of bitches, but you won't be going around me. Those are your two choices. And so the main thing that's bothering me here is that when he broke off the hookups, he cried because he thought that he was hurting them. That would have been my opportunity to say, you just really all on your own jocks. You think that your little dick is that stupendous that people are gonna be hurt because they ain't fucking you no more. Like you the only dick on the planet. See, I would have had to clown him. I just couldn't let an opportunity. This was like a perfect opportunity to slide in there and do your ninja slice and dice on his ego. Cause I hurt them. It was just a hookup, but I hurt them. Motherfucker, your dick ain't that stupendous to hurt nobody. They was faking anyway. All that hair flipping and shit women be doing. Like when Harry met Sally, just faking. And you think you all there over there putting it down. You ain't doing nothing. They was happy when they didn't have to waste their sheets on your ass no more. I just like, these dudes be killing me. Anyway, get rid of his ass. He's stupid. I can't stand stupid men. Question number 10, female, 26 to 29 out of London. I have a 15-month-old son, and ever since he was born, things have been difficult between my parents and my husband. Wait a minute, this looks like it's going to be long. I was right. How long? I'm going to skim this. Okay. The first incident was literally when our son was born. I had a horrible 72-hour labor. When he was born, he had breathing difficulties and was taken straight to the NICU. Prior to his birth, my husband and I had discussed that we would probably like a few days of just us three before having visitors. However, I found the whole thing quite traumatic and asked my parents to visit us in hospital the day after the birth. Not least because they're both medical professionals, but my husband was livid, even though I said I'd be perfectly happy for his parents to visit also. They didn't. Since then, things have gotten worse. My husband says that my parents are trying to control our lives. I don't think that at all, though I do admit my mother can be overly enthusiastic and does have a tendency to want to take charge. Well, then that means they're trying to control your life. Like he said, don't be trying to change the language here. What you said, this is some bullshit, lady. All you did was rephrase your mother's behavior to make it sound palatable, but it's exactly what your husband said. She taking the fuck over. This year, my parents said they found it so upsetting every time they saw my husband that it might be better if they didn't see him and they just saw me and the grandson. I was left to relay this message to my husband, and he said had seen it as being banned from my parents' house. In return, he banned my parents from our house. We had a meetup a couple of months ago between me, my parents, and my husband so they could all discuss things. It went terribly, as my husband accused my parents of being liars and demanded apologies from them. My mother actually did give an apology he wanted to keep the peace. He's forgiven her to a degree, but my dad refused to apologize because he doesn't think he did anything wrong. I'm now left in a situation where my parents want to forgive and forget and move on, but my husband refuses to do so. He wants my dad to make an apology, and my dad doesn't want to, as he doesn't think he's done anything wrong and refuses to give in to bullying. I do get my dad's point, but wish he would be less proud. My husband's now refusing to let my dad see our son other than on neutral territory. Hmm. Whenever I try to talk to my husband about the situation, he gets so angry and I can't have a proper conversation with him. I cannot continue to live like this. I'm close to my parents and currently cannot have a normal relationship with them. It is also impacting my relationship with my siblings because they have taken my parents' side. I love my husband, and a situation with my parents is the only thing we really argue about. However, I don't want to be cut off from my family. I once told my husband that he had no right to stop me from taking my son to see my parents. He told me that if I tried to take my son without his agreement, that would be grounds for divorce. I just don't know what to do, and I'm utterly miserable. You take your son anyway. Okay? He wants to get a divorce because of his pride and his fucking ego. Then tell him, fine, let's do that. Because see, then once we're divorced, I'm gonna move in with my parents, and they're gonna see him every day, all day, and it won't be shit you could do about it. See, that's what I would tell him. It's so much shit you could do about it, because I'm gonna live there. When I go to work, my mother's gonna watch him. She's gonna babysit him. And guess what? The only time you gonna get to see him is when you have visitation on the weekends. That's what's gonna happen. So you see, you acting like this and talking about grounds for divorce. The one that you gonna be smiting is yourself, sir. Because if then I'll be back with my family, happy as a clam, and my son will see his grandmother every fucking day. And so the one who's gonna lose here is you. But that's what you want, so let's do that. That's what I would tell his fucking ass. He trying to be, act like he got so many cards to pull. You don't have shit, motherfucker. Not when it comes to me. No, 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 no. And trying to keep you from your family. I would be over. I would go in there and pack my shit and be over there for 2 weeks. And what's he gonna do about it? He gonna try to come to the house and force you to leave? Then your parents could call the police on his ass and have him carted away. So either way you look at it, you have all the cards and all the power. So I don't understand why you tripping. And your son is just born, he's still nursing and shit. What your husband think he gonna do? Now I could see if the kid was like 8 or 9, 10 years old, he could go to court and do all the stuff. But you got a new baby that's just is still nursing. They the court's not gonna give him nothing about with that. They gonna keep that baby with you. So you just run all that by him. If you want to, just play this part of the video for his monkey ass so he can understand. Motherfucker, sit down somewhere. They shit here for you. There ain't nothing you have no power here. You the daddy, and in a situation like I said, you file for divorce if you want to, and then we're gonna be at my mother's house 24/7. Then what you gonna do? I mean, how you likes me now? And I would send him pictures. I send him videos. Look, my mother's playing with your son. Oh, look at this. Yeah, they always try to isolate people. They always try to, run something. But see, I'm starting to wonder if I have narc tendencies. I think I do. Because when I see narcs try to play these kind of games, I figure out how I'm going to get them back and how I'm going to one up them. And so, you fight narc fire with narc fire. And like I always say, I don't fight fire with a fire, I fight it with a flamethrower. So I'm going to light your ass up and I'm going to make you wish you had never said that to me. And I don't need to see, I'm talking just like I'm talking. Am I yelling? Am I yelling? Am I screaming? Did my voice go up even an octave? Not once. I'm not going to do all that. I'm not breaking a sweat. I'm not straining myself. I'm just going to explain to you what's going to happen if you take that path. This the path we going to be on, motherfucker. And guess what? And don't let them get a restraining order because you go over there acting stupid. Then you'll never see your son unless you have paid what they call supervised visitation, where there's a deputy sheriff and a nurse and a psychologist and everything on hand, and you got to rent the facilities and you got to pay them for them couple of hours that you have visitation. And you can't leave the facility. They sit there and they watch you as you interact with your child because you've been acting so stupid, threatening people and trying to control everything. So then you have to come out of pocket for that plus pay child support. So it's really not to your advantage to act a stupid fool in a situation like this, son. I'm going to talking to you now because I'm hoping that she shows you this video clip. It's not to your advantage. You need to shut up and go along with the program. Okay? Forget all this. The woman was traumatized in a 72-hour labor. And all you can think about is your ego, not the fact that she was terrorized and frightened out of her mind, scared to death, in pain as outside. Everybody in a situation like that wants their mama. They want their mother. Okay, even they talk about soldiers on the battlefield in Vietnam, pretty grown men, tough as nails. and they get shot and they laying there thinking they gonna die, the person they call for, their mother. Never their daddy. Mama. I want my mama. Call my mama. Write this letter for my mother because they know they're gonna die. Stuff they think about their mom. So in a situation like that, that's why your wife wanted her mother there after her trauma. But you all you think about is yourself. So yeah, I want you to do that. No, they're not cheap, and that's why that would be uh his only remedy. Cause see, he done threatened the parents, and that's where we live in. So you can't come there. You can't come there. So what you gonna do? You gonna have supervised visitation because it's an infant, right? It's gonna be all bad for you, sir. You need to shut the fuck up. That's what you need to do. Sit your fucking ass down. Don't you say nothing. You go along with the program so you don't lose your wife and your son. That's their best bet. Because right now you acting like a zip damn fool. And you're gonna try to throw your ego around and your what little weight you think you have, little flyweight, bantamweight motherfucker. You don't have no weight. You gonna lose out. And you're not gonna have nothing. And you're gonna be sitting over there mad because your mutilate your mouth, write a check that your ass had to cash. Let's move on. Question number 11. Female, 30 to 35 from Calgary, Canada. We met up at Riley Park in Calgary on Sunday. Riley Park. It was a great meeting. We have a lot in common. The conversation was flowing naturally, and the scenery is beautiful. He said what he liked the most about me was that I was smart, that since we had gotten in touch, he had tested me a few times, and I, quote, passed his general knowledge test. That's just, it's imperative for him to be able to exchange the way we did on politics, the economy, etc. I think it was okay to test me to check our compatibility, but he could have kept it to himself. But okay, giving him a pass on that. No, you don't give a pass. Then he said he'd like to see me again. I said I like that too. He asked how do we proceed from here. I said let's go enjoy a terrace next weekend. They're finally opening. He said great. Did he expect something else? Something like how do we proceed? Let's go to your place type of answer? It's me being overly suspicious, right? When we said our goodbyes, he gave me a gentle lip kiss. He said he was very excited to have met me, that he would not disappoint me. Silence. He would not disappoint me in any areas. Rolling my eyes. Give him another pass on that one. Why? See, here we go. First date, he already bringing his dick into it. As he walked away, he turns around and says, as far as I'm concerned, you're already mine. That's flirting, right? No, that's stupid. He called me a few times later to tell me he'll give me his office number. He wants me to be able to reach him at any time, anywhere. Then is the part I can't figure out. He texts in the morning, but does not engage in conversation. He calls at night just to say, I want you to know I'm thinking about you and looking forward to seeing you again. Then he says his good night, not engaging in conversation. This morning, the same. Says good morning, but does not engage in conversations. What are your thoughts? I'm thinking he's stupid. What grown man, okay, you 30 to 35, so I'm assume he's, somewhere in that age group too. What man does that? If he's really interested in a woman, he's going to have a conversation with you. Well, what you do today? Well, how you feeling? What you feel like doing when we get together this weekend? Well, I was reading this interesting book on such and such and such. What's your take on this? Since he seemed to like intellectual stimulation so much, but suddenly he don't have nothing to say. He just keeping in touch with you enough to keep till you can get together, so he can get that tap that ass. That's all this is. Now, if you don't want that kind of situation, I'm reading through the lines here for you. Okay, this little innuendo thing, I will not disappoint in any areas. That right up there, that alone would have sent me to the block button. See, it's like these guys have no. He's not. Teenagers don't even do this because they too scared. They don't have the experience. This is some old man thinking he's slick, trying to get his dick wet. Shit. That's what this is. But see, and this is again. Remember what I referenced earlier about women not having any boundaries and standards for the men that they allow to have access to them. This guy doing this little knowledge test and stuff, okay, whatever. You're on a date, you're going to talk about something, and he going to put it as a test, fine, whatever turns you on, motherfucker. But then this thing here, he gives you a little kiss on the lips. Who told you could kiss me on my lips? I don't want your herpes covered lips on me. I don't know you like that, sir. Back the fuck up. See, that was awfully presumptuous of him. And the fact that you just allowed it, he's feeling like he got an end to that ass because you so turned on. You let him kiss you after 20 minutes of stupid conversation about politics and the economy. Not in nothing even romantic. Okay, then you, um, so you gave him a pass, and then he's gonna say this third thing that would have just really like blown me out the water. You already mine. No, I'm not. That's what he would have got out of me. Who told you that lie? I am who I want. I am who I am, and I give myself to who I want to. You don't claim me. So see what I would do with these three things right here. By the time I got home, I would have been hitting the block button. So he would have been able to text me with his this stuff here, all this stupid texting. What is this? What is this? Okay, the next thing he gonna ask you out by text, and what you gonna text him back and say okay? See, this you have to have some standards here, girlfriend. Right now, you're not exhibiting any. You just let this dude just do whatever he wants to do and involve you in it. Get rid of this fool. Why is this all the solution? These men are stupid and they're trifling and they don't have nothing to offer. He can't even fucking talk to you. And yet you supposed to be trying to figure out if you're gonna be dating him or nothing. He doesn't even have any conversation for you. On the first date, it wasn't conversation about himself. He was asking you about politics and social issues. That's nothing personal. You did not really get to know this guy at all. Do you understand what's going on here? He just using this is narc talk, babble. They just be using a bunch of words, but it doesn't mean anything. Okay, if you're really confused about that, look. I got to look at the playlist on narcissistic the narcissism, and there's a playlist of videos that I've done, and you can listen to that and you can see what these behavior patterns mean. They don't this is not He's not trying to form any kind of relationship with you. He's trying to talk to you enough and keep you on the string enough so that he can tap that ass and then he's gonna be out. Because you don't even have any idea who this man is. He's not letting you know him at all. Do you understand that? This dude is a piece of work. You need to block. Yeah, block. He's seriously block. Question 12. This is like I have not seen anything yet that would motivate me to want to do online dating. I done told you all I just don't want to be bothered. I could just see me getting banned from all the sites. Cause soon as somebody came at me like that, I would stand up and cuss his ass out in public, right there in front of everybody. Wouldn't give a fuck. You talking to me crazy? You done lost your rabbit ass mind. You think you'll be telling me, and don't you try to touch me, I'll fucking stab your ass. I always carry a knife on me. So, you try to put your hands on me, I'ma doink you. You're gonna be bleeding out on the floor. Don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me and don't put your lizard lips nowhere near me. Fucking herpes mouth and shit. I be looking at people, they be having sores all over their mouths and sores on and big old bubble crusted shit on their lips. I want to be coming up there trying to touch, trying to kiss on me. No. Get thee away from me, Satan. I, I'm real funny about that. I be looking at people's gums and shit too. Be having all kind of gingivitis and pyorrhea and stuff. No. You been reporting out, folks? Well, Ravania, I could imagine that I would probably last 5 minutes because soon as they came at me crazy, I would be like, you trifling piece of shit, donkey ass motherfucker. I could just imagine the crazy shit that would come out of my mouth. No. Let's move on to question number 12. This is a female, 26 to 29 from Santa Clara. So me and my boyfriend have been together since October last year. We hit it off straight away, fell head over heels. He told me he had never felt this way before. I am so in love. I thought he was too. Uh-oh. Anyway, he thought I was asleep cuddling him, and I can see that he checked his ex's WhatsApp picture, noticed that it's a man. He messengered her asking who it was. She replied back saying it's her friend. He asked if that's who she stays with in the city. She said something like, "Is this relevant?" Then he just straight up asked if she was seeing somebody. Sad face emoji. Why would he care, Deb? He went downstairs to make a drink. I'm in the bathroom now crying. I don't know how to approach this. I know he's going to downplay it, But we've been so happy. I would have never known he still had feelings for his ex. I even want to see his face right now. Ugh. Okay. Well, I don't know when you wrote this, and this is the bad part. Since I got sick, these letters are behind. But I'm going to say this again. This is, you now see not just one red flag, but like a whole fucking parade of them, just marching, marching, marching through your life with this man. This man is in love with another woman. He's worried about who she's seeing and what she's doing, and she's supposed to be his ex, while you're laying in the bed with him with your head on his chest so you can see his phone that he's holding like this while he thinks that you're asleep. There are no accidents. That was spiritually meant for you to see so that you would wake up and understand what time it is. So I'm going to say this to you. What you should have done, were I in your situation, I would have waited until he went downstairs. Well, there's two things that knowing me, one of the two, but let's just say I was in the bathroom like you. I wouldn't have been wasting time crying though. I would have said, "Oh, I'm going to run to the bathroom." So he went downstairs and make a drink. I would be putting all my shit in a bag and then meet him when he was on his way back up the stairs to tell him that something came up and I need to leave right away and I'll talk to you later. Now, why would I say that? So I could get out of there and he would be like, oh, not like trying to make a fight. He'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'll talk to you later. And then I get home and I would block him and I'd be like done with him. Okay. So, or the other way, me being more confrontational, since I always carry my knife on me, I would have just sat up in the bed and said, "Oh, so now you worried about that bitch and who she's fucking? Is that what's going on here? Let me get my shit and get the hell out of here. Because I'm not trying to play second fiddle to no motherfucker." Okay, then I would have got my shit and left. Of course, then that would have been a big fight because he's gonna be trying to argue with you about how it's not true and all this other kind of stuff. And so that's why I said that it would go one of those two ways though, depending on my mood and how much alcohol I had in me. Because if I had been drinking, it would be the former, and just in my calm, level-headed self, it would be the latter, and I would create an emergency and be up out of there. Even I had to text one of my friends and say, "Call me," and say that so and so is in the hospital so that I can act all surprised and shocked and start crying and shit and then bust out of here. And so my friends would do it, right? I'd be like, oh my God, Sheila was in an accident and we're all going over to the hospital. But they only let, friends and family in, so you can't come. Bye, I'll talk to you later. And then dip out. I don't know. I just have this thing when people, when stuff like this happens, I don't feel like I owe you anything. I don't owe you honesty. I don't owe you an explanation. Look at the big secrets that you've been hiding from me. Were you honest with me? So please don't expect me to be honest with you after you done expose yourself as being a fucking liar, manipulative, deceptive, all of that. Okay, I don't owe you shit. So if I lie and say that I want, Jesus is coming back and he's at my house waiting for me to make him a ham sandwich. I mean, whatever. Whatever I say, you can't say nothing because you've been lying to me all this time about how you feel about me because what you really feel is your heart is still with that bitch. So everything that you've been telling me since then is all a lie. So that means that it's open season. Now I'm about to get super creative. I'm gonna turn into Grimm's fairy tales on your ass. I'll be making up all kind of shit. All highly entertaining fables. That's what I'm going to do. So don't be mad. Don't be mad. Wow. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay. 8 months. That's long enough for this bullshit. Question number 13. This is a female in the 30 to 35 age group out of Leeds in the UK. My husband wants us to split. We're joint tenants in a council property. He works full time and I'm a stay at home mom. I had to leave my part time job 3 years ago on medical grounds due to my health. His argument is that he earns the money, so he should keep our house. Our children are 6, 11, and 12. My 11-year-old has ASD. What is that? I don't know. And is extremely sensitive to things and change. I don't want things to get nasty, but I have no family in the city we are living in, so we'll probably have to move back to my parents who live about an hour away. He works from home, so he's able to do the school runs, etc. I have no savings or any income. I don't want to leave my children for fear I will never get them back. I need some advice. Please help me. Go to, I don't know what the equivalent of social services is in the UK and Leeds, but I do know that you can go to the council housing office and you could tell them what's happening and tell them that you need housing for your three children and you want to stay in the house. You need to be set up on some assistance benefits, whatever. I don't, so here it's like Section 8 and food stamps, housing subsidies, and all that kind of stuff. Whatever the equivalent is in the UK, where people who are unemployed can get food and money, help with their utilities and their rent paid and stuff. That's what you need. You need some resources so you can make sure your kids are fed and have a place to sleep, a place to live and go to school and all the stuff that you need to do. He can go somewhere else since he has a job. He can rent anywhere. He doesn't need the council house. The kids need the council house. And so you say that, and then you figure out if they can help you get an attorney. You file for child support. You file for divorce. Okay? You get everything that you're supposed to get out of that motherfucker. Don't you dare leave that house. Leave that house. I don't care if he throws all your shit outside. You call the police and you tell them to bring it back in. Don't you leave. Okay? Don't your kids leave either. It might be Asperger's. I don't know. ASD. I don't know what ASD is supposed to stand for. It's people. Oh, it is autism. Okay, Tracy said it's autism. Well, there you go. Learn something new now. But no, you don't leave your children with him. Mm-mm. This is a power move. And the fact that you left for medical reasons, see, you could have probably qualified for some kind of disability payments. Anyway, what you need, your first visit needs to be to whatever the equivalent of social services is, and then visit number 2 to this council housing office to get all your ducks lined up in a row so you can kick his fucking ass out, tap his wallet to make sure the kids have what they need, and then you guys still have housing and you still have some food and all that kind of stuff. Get your ass in gear. Stop whining. Don't you be thinking about his ass. You think about those kids and what they need. You are their only protector right now. He's thinking about himself. You're their mother. Okay, make sure your kids are protected and have what they need. I am not joking right now. Fuck that motherfucker. Don't give him a second thought. Don't stop even worrying about the marriage. You think of, because he don't want the marriage no more. Okay, so that's a wrap. You can't save a marriage by yourself. What you have to do is focus all of your energy on survival for you and your kids. That's all you think about. Tomorrow's Monday. Get your ass up. You take them kids, to school or wherever they're going, if they're there, whatever. But you make sure that you have an appointment and you go and handle your business. Autism spectrum disorder? Okay. Well, thank you. I learned something new. All right. Autism spectrum disorder. Okay, so yeah, with that too, they're going to keep that kid in that house. So you don't have anything to worry about, but you handle your business and don't you let him bully you. Question 14. We got 24 questions. This is question 4. Oh, no, I would have something for his ass. See, that's like, oh, is that what we're doing? Okay. I would make him think I was all in line with that. The next thing you know, the police would be coming and packing his shit up and moving him the fuck out. And I'd be getting the locks changed. The council people would be over there changing the locks. Say, oh, and sir, give us that key back. And then I said, but I still want the locks changed because he might have a backup key. I don't want him coming up in here. I'd have a lawyer, I'd have child support, I'd have all kind of shit in process. He wouldn't even know what hit him. It's like, oh, why you sitting up there talking about you want a divorce? This is what happens. This is how that works, motherfucker, when you got 3 kids and a wife who's a stay-at-home mom. That was all to your benefit. You liked all that shit because you got all these services and stuff. But now, because you don't want it no more, you think that I'm going to suffer? Oh, no, 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 no. That's not how this works. The one who's going to be suffering is you. And I'm going to make sure of it. I'm going to rake your ass over every hot coal I can find. Nasty motherfucker. Question 14, female, 26 to 29, Portland, Oregon. Maybe I'm weird, but a guy paying on the first date makes me feel obligated to agree to a second. What? Let me give you a recent example. I went on a date with a guy a week or so ago. It was an okay evening. He was pleasant to talk to, but I didn't feel much of a spark, and there wasn't much banter and jokiness back and forth. I offered to split the bill, but he insisted on paying, so he did. We kissed before saying goodbye. I felt torn about whether to go on a second date or not because I kind of feel like I just wasn't really feeling it. And every time in the past I've given things more of a chance after not really feeling it on a first date, it hasn't really worked out. But I feel kind of bad, and I kind of like I have to agree to a second date if he asks for one because he paid for me. I don't know what to do. Ladies of the squad, do you have any thoughts? Hmm. Well, you can read in there and see what they. I know. Huh? You can read in there and see what they say, but I'm going to give you my answer. Um, he, you offered to split the bill, but he insisted on paying. Okay, that should be the end of your concern. Okay, he insisted on paying. What you gonna do? Say no, 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 and fight him for the bill, and y'all wrestle around on the floor to see who's gonna pay that $20? It's not that serious. Okay, it wasn't like he was at some, ultra regal restaurant where it's $200 a person or something. 20, $30. I mean, if dude can't afford that, then he needs to be not dating and going and get himself a second job. Okay, so I don't understand all this angst that you have. You offered. He said no. That means he wanted to pay. So whether he sees you or not is not the point. So, if you want to go on a second date, he says, he wants to go on a second date, say, well, I thought about it and, I just really wasn't feeling a spark or anything that would warrant a second date. You were nice and everything, but, you know, it's just, I'm just not feeling it. And then say, but I wish you the best. And then you go on with your life. You don't owe a man your time and all the stuff, the preparation that you have to do for a second date if you don't want to go on a second date. Okay, you sound like you've already made up your mind. You're not interested in a second date with this man. So then you don't go. How hard is that? I would give a fuck if a motherfucker paid $5,000. If I said I was gonna offer half, that's my signal. I'm not feeling you. Okay, I'm coming out of pocket for mine. And then he insisted on paying anyway. Well, that's it. I'm throwing up my hands like a Vegas card dealer. Okay? Because my responsibility here is done. I offered. So you, as a dating adult, you know if a woman comes at you and you go on a date with her and she offers to pay half or pay her share or go Dutch and whatever, she offers that. Not like you said it. She offers that. That means she ain't feeling you and she don't want to see you again. That's what that means. So for all you dudes who are confused, that's what that means. Okay? Whatever happened on the date, she's not interested in part two. So she wants to cut ties with you. She don't want you thinking she owes you shit. She paying her half and she's out. That's what that means. Okay? So there's no reason to feel, anything special about this. Stop it. It's like I don't know where this thinking comes from. See, young girls have these all kinds of fucked up, all mentality about what men are supposed to do. My thing is like if a guy's not paying on a date, then what kind of man is he? Why did he ask you out then if he just wanted you to pay? What was that? What is it that you think was supposed to happen? I'm curious because I never understand this kind of thinking. How do you think a man would ever demonstrate that he's somebody that you could depend on, that would be a protector and a provider if he doesn't even want to pay $20 for a date? A man who is like that is a damn loser. Okay, then one's talking about, oh, let's go Dutch. He asked you out and this says, let's go Dutch. You're supposed to say, you take that Dutch and shove it up your narrow ass. I'm not trying to think about going nowhere with you. That's not my idea of a man. And then you just leave him for some woman who's more desperate and he doesn't mind that. Okay, that's what you do. I wish a motherfucker would ask me out. Oh, Christine with my same name. Cousin. But this, I don't understand. I swear, I don't understand that thinking at all. But anyway, let's move on. We got the question 15. I have 24. We got 24 questions. And I'm holding on, y'all. I'm holding on. I wasn't sure I'd be able to do the whole show. Hey, Sherry. Yes, I'm feeling better, but the antibiotics make you. Okay, I went from just stomach pains to now I have stomach ache because the antibiotics make my stomach hurt. It's like I can't win. But anyway, here we go. Question 15. Female 37 to 45 from Huntersville, North Carolina. I am a 43-year-old black female that has never married or had any children. Choosing the path of die-hard career advancement instead, I'm an IT development engineer and I had a great success at it, creating quite an affluent life for myself. Oh, get it, girl? That's what I'm talking about. As you can imagine, my choices have not gone over well with family or in the black community as a whole. It seems that if a woman is not a baby mom on welfare, there's something wrong with her. Hmm. My family has always single shamed me for my choices and demonized me for not having children. My slightly older sister has always been resentful of me for excelling and especially cruel calling me an Oreo. She is married to a typical Dusty Nam and has 4 children with him. I have never liked her husband. He asked me out first, and I turned him down because I knew right off the bat what kind of clown he was. So he got with my sister instead. I believe he is secretly in love with me and only married her to stay close to me, but that's another story. In any case, I recently learned that they are being evicted from their house for non payment of rent and are reaching out to me through family for quote help because no one else is willing or able. Deb, I know it's wrong, but all I want to do is rub my sister's face in it. Get back at her by mocking her that she needs help from the single woman to keep her family from being homeless because her husband can't keep a job and support his own family despite being in the streets 24/7. Since I have a 5 bedroom home to myself, I am reluctantly contemplating taking on the children, but not my sister and her asshole husband. They can go to a shelter or live in their hoopty for all I care. I can hire nannies to help with the kids, but I do not want my sister or him under my roof as I do not trust either one of them. I could put them in one of my rental properties, but it would have to displace paying tenants, and I refuse to do that. So I'm giving them that ultimatum. I will take the children until they get back on their feet, but I will not financially help them. They can take it or leave it. What do you think, Deb? Am I wrong for rejecting them, or do I invite 2 people I can't stand to stay under my roof because they are, quote, family? I will already be sacrificing my peace and independence to take care of the children and feel that they should be grateful that I'm willing to do that. Any advice or suggestions you have to ease the situation would be great. That is a good, second option. That's a good second option. And I'm really on the fence about this because unless you went to, you got the money to go to an attorney and have proper paperwork drawn up because you cannot just take these kids, just that family take in thing that people like to do. That's some bullshit and it will get you in legal trouble. So what you want to do is get all of this done with an attorney, some kind of agreement, a temporary custody agreement through the court system where you have, legal and physical custody because what if something happens and you have to make a medical decision for these kids? What if one of them gets arrested and you have to appear in court on their behalf as the quote parent? You see what I mean? You need to have some stuff so that you have some power if you decide to do this. Would I do this? Hell no. Because I don't want to be bothered. I mean, it's nice that you feel concerned about the children and stuff, and I probably would be wrestling with that too, because I do care more about children than I do adults. However, that's not your fault. Did you lay up there and fucking make them kids? It's not like your sister got cancer and is dying, is on her deathbed, or something like really super bad happened. They were just irresponsible and stupid. She married to Dusty and she had kids by Nam. So that's not your problem. Now, if they have, some kind of issues like that, they need to go down to the welfare office and get them some government housing and go live on the farm or do whatever they do in where are you? Huntersville, North Carolina. I would not be bothered. You know, I just she made if you talk to her, it'd be like, look, you all you had to talk about for me was ridicule what my choices were. But look at where my choices got me and look at where your choices got you. So your ridicule and your decisions, your choices have put you in a bad state. And yet you want me at this point in my life where I'm comfortable and happy to save you. And I refuse to do it. This is what my grandfather used to call you make your bed, now you lie in it. He used to say that to us all the time, and I'll never forget it. That's why I always have, like, when you make decisions about something, Any and all benefits, as well as any and all repercussions from your decisions and choices, are yours and only yours to bear. You did that to yourself. And that's what I would remind my sister. So, no, you can't come here. And no, I don't want to look at you. And no, your kids can't come here. And all y'all need to go together and live as a family at one of them family shelters where everybody's in one room. And then maybe that'll motivate your husband to get off his ass and get a job. But see, if he feels comfortable and his responsibilities are being taken care of by you, then there's no motivation for either one of them to do better. Do you understand where I'm going with this? So I understand you want to protect the kids and all that, and I understand. I get it. I get it. Trust me, I understand. And like I said, I would most likely be wrestling with that as well. But the bitch part of me would be like, fuck you and your raggedy ass goddamn snot nosed kids. I didn't make them motherfuckers. I didn't want no kids. So why should I have to suffer now taking care of yours? Fuck you and your kids. That would be me. But even if I felt inside differently, because I would be worried about the little kids who didn't do anything, I would be worried about them. But I would still have to take that approach because of my family and because I know that I'm be setting myself up for drama later, guilt tripping, manipulation. But you got my kids over there. I have a right to see my kids from your sister and nothing ass man. So, you got to don't look at just right now. Look into the future. And like I said, unless you can do this in a way that you are fully protected, your assets are protected, your home is protected, and you have all kinds of things in place where they can never come up in your house, well, then don't do it. But I'm saying, really don't do it. Just ignore them and say, well, maybe mama, you were so worried about them, let them move up in your house, but they ain't coming over here. That's what I would say. Well, the parents would want to be around, but if she got, the legal paperwork and all that stuff in place, she could set up so they can't be around. But that doesn't mean the kids won't let them in when she's not around. That doesn't mean the kids won't be pressuring her to let them see them. That the kids won't want to go down the street, run away to see them. I mean, it's just gonna be a whole bunch of bullshit. And so me, I like to mitigate bullshit when at ever possible. And so none of them motherfuckers will be up in my house. And sometimes kids have this thing too. You don't know what the parents be saying to them, right? So suddenly your shit starts getting broken. Holes in your walls. Shit Kool-Aid poured on your furniture and your sofa, your what you call it, carpet and shit. So it's costing you money. They drawing on the walls, they kicking holes, punching stuff, breaking stuff. Of course, you might know them and they might be perfectly wonderful children. I don't know. But I'm just saying, typically, this is the kind of stuff that happens when children are having conflict, emotional conflicts. They're kids. They don't know how to deal with it. And so they act out. And so what would be getting tore up is your stuff while their parents were living in some, hotel or something. Yeah. Then say you let them stay in one of your properties or something. You think you're going to get rid of them? You think they will keep your property up? You think once they move up in there, you're going to be able to get rid of them and you're going to have to be paying the bills and suffering financial losses and paying the light bills and everything else because they're not going to have no money? Well, sister, can you buy us some food? It's never ending. The best bet for you to do is just tell your mother and everybody else in your family you don't want to be bothered and for them to figure it out because they're adults and that's what adults do. Question number 16, male, 21 to 25 from Davenport, Iowa. I was recently dating this girl for a month and a half, and we really hit it off. Both were really into each other. We both said as much, and long story short, out of nowhere, when things were really at the high point in terms of how things were going, she told me that going forward, she just wants to be friends and was happy to keep going out as friends. I was surprised given how things were going, but respected what she said because the one word I had was a bit of maturity in terms. Okay, you use too many words. I'm getting lost in all these words. You all in your feelings. I just want facts, sir. Let me skip all that. I'm fully aware it's possible she got her attention diverted by someone else as we met online, and that has happened in the past, or also that she wasn't into me enough. See what I mean? All you had to say is, maybe she met somebody else, period. That's all I need. Oh, there was a few online exchanges where she messaged me at 1 a.m. on a Saturday night, which I found strange. Oh, I accepted what she told me. I didn't try to push things. I really have tried to catch up with her as a friend, as I don't believe this would work. Or he says, nor have I tried to catch up with her as a friend. I don't believe this would work. We live 200 miles from each other, and since we have run into each other quite a few times, it has not been awkward at all. If anything, sort of picked up where it left off in terms of how we chatted. I still understand what she told me, and I generally think there's possibly no way I could get out of the friend zone now. But my main question is, finally, have you heard of anyone experiencing anything where something has ended like that and then sort of started up again? And if so, what happened? Hmm. I understand there's a 99% chance it won't ever happen again. And just this feeling that someone I may not have let go is easy. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. You use way too many words. I hope you don't talk like this because nobody know what the fuck you was talking about. You talk in circles, sir. That's why she didn't want to see you no more because she never understood what the fuck you was talking about. It was like, she dizzy and shit from all these words. So I'm gonna tell you anyway. Sounds like if I sum things up, y'all was kicking it. She decided she just want to be friends now, and now you trying to figure out um, if there's a way for you to get out of the friend zone, but you don't think there is. My thing is this: if a woman tells you she just want to be friends, it's a wrap. She ain't trying to get with you, and yeah, I'm just like, dude, your words, you use too many words. You like a woman with all these emotions and all this language and words. Oh my God, this what you said could have been summed up in 4 or 5 sentences, not it's like 12 paragraphs worth of bullshit. You need to do better. But anyway, yeah, this is a wrap, and you trying to catch up with her as a friend. I mean, you haven't been trying to catch up with her friend. Don't waste your time. Just block her number, cause you ain't trying to be her friend. You were trying to be the boyfriend, right? So don't be hanging around and talking about go out as a friend and all that kind of shit. Spend the free time that you have on some woman that wants to listen to all these goddamn words you talk. Cause that wouldn't work for me. We would have went on one date. You would have hit me with all this. I would have got up and walked the fuck out mid sentence. It's like I can't hear this. I can't listen to this. You done used up my whole month's allotment of words in one date. This is crazy, dude. You talk too much. If this is how you talk, that's why she don't want to be bothered with you. Question number 17. I'm in need of advice about my marriage. I'm so sad and I can't keep from crying. I don't know what to do. My husband and I have been married for 3 months. Oh my God, only 3 months and you already crying? There were some red flags and deal breakers I'm noticing, but I can't seem to shake. Number one, will not spend money, very tight and frugal. Not sure how much he makes because he refuses to tell me, even though he knows how much I make. Number two, will not sleep in the same bed as me. Number three, will not show me pictures of his children from his previous marriage. Number four, will not buy food or toiletries. His argument is I make more money, so therefore he feels I should buy the toiletries and food. Number five, will not shower for days at a time, maybe once or twice a week at most. Oh, so he funky. Number six, used to being homeless or living in a car or garage. Number seven, has no relationship with his parents, sister, grandparents. Number eight, I was hungry yesterday, and after helping him drive in my car, I asked him if he could get us some Wingstop, and he refused. You shouldn't eat that shit either. I would have refused too. Number nine, I broke my phone, asked him to replace it. He refused because he has no money and wants to move overseas. Number 10, doesn't like to take me out or do anything nice for me, like flowers, dates, anything romantic. I seen him curse out an elderly lady for basically no reason. She just knocked on our door to ask if we could move our car, and he got on her face and tried to fight her. And he says horrible things about his parents, like he wouldn't care if they died. Wow. He wouldn't even call his mother to wish her a happy Mother's Day because he hates her so much. If he doesn't like his own mother, how can he love a woman the right way? And he called women hoes. He believes this, and something's a bunch of stars. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. He believes this about all, oh, maybe this B, the B word. He believes about all women. It's sad I can't believe I married someone like this. Yeah, I can't believe it either because I'm wondering where was you when y'all was supposed to be dating so you could figure all this out. Is this a mail order bride situation or what? How did you not see all of this kind of behavior? You didn't know the dude was homeless and used to living in cars and garages and stuff? How could you not know these things about his personality, that he's cheap and all stuff, if you was dating him? So it sounds to me like some kind of mail order bride situation or something like that. right? Because I mean, I'm just reading between the lines. It's like these are just basic things that if you're dating, you would know. I mean, because he's gonna sleep in the same bed with you. You gotta not only see pictures of his kids, you would know his kids. You would have met him, right? So that's what makes me think this must be some kind of send away bride thing, something along those lines. And so now you all shocked and appalled at the man that you married, but you know what? In 90 days, you could go down to the courthouse and say, look, this man is some person that's a monster. I want to get out of this marriage. I want to get an annulment. And then you get an annulment and it's like it never happened. So you don't even have to tell people that you was married because it's like it's all like legally washed away like it never happened. Because this is some bullshit. But you broke your phone and you asked him to place it. What you asking him for? That's not his. You broke your phone. You get your own phone. I would have told you no too. I mean, what? Unless I worked at Verizon or something where I could get a employee discount, then yeah, then I'll get your phone. But you broke your phone. That's on you. Shit. What I look like? That you even had that expectation is kind of astonishing. But and then you want somebody to buy you some nasty ass Wingstop? That shit. No. Have you looked at the nutritional page on their website? Each wing is like 300 calories or something, and the sodium is off the chart. So for I don't know what race you are, but for African any people of color that tend to have hypertension, high cholesterol, heart disease, and shit, you don't never need to eat that stuff. I'm telling you, look on the nutrition chart on their website and be amazed. And you think about people that eat, you know, like 10 of them. Okay, that's enough sodium for a week that they have done in one meal. And then wonder why you have hypertension and all puffed up and swollen and got inflammation in their joints and shit. You know, that law, once that law passed, y'all, any restaurant you go to that's like that, those fast food places, you can look on their websites. I'm telling you this for your own health. Look on their websites and be amazed at the disgraceful content of their food. I don't eat that shit. I made that one mistake I ate. You all heard about that. I've been sick ever since. I'll never do that shit again. Never. Don't even ask me. I don't care if I starve to death. I'll stop at a fruit stand and just get, fruit or something. I learned my lesson. I'm not fucking with none of that stuff. Yeah, but I'm just telling her, I would have said no to you want some Wingstop too. Take your ass over there and get a salad. Question number 18, male, 30 to 35 from Dayton, Ohio. I've been living with my fiance for a little over a year now. Early in 2020, I moved into her place. The place is a mess and very cluttered with a lot of her stuff. I asked her to clean up some of her stuff or agree to put it in storage so we can make more room and have a less cluttered environment. I managed to get her to do her a little bit of this, but she won't do any more, and the apartment is still very cluttered. This issue has been dragging on for months with little to no real resolution. I've asked her to help. She promises to help, but then says she has a headache or an upset stomach. I ask her why she does this, and she says she feels overwhelmed with how big of a job it is. Even though I've recommended we tackle the problem in little chunks at a time, still she won't help at all, even if I repeatedly ask. She has 2 cats and won't clean the litter box unless I push her. Same thing with doing laundry. She says she'll do it and then doesn't. Kicking herself, figuratively speaking, results in only short-lived improvement. Her only interest is watching TV all day and messing around on her phone. I am not working due to disability and drawing disability income. She has depression and her existing medication isn't working well. She's on the waiting list to see a psychiatrist, but the wait could be long. She's not working as a result of her illness. She did go back briefly in the fall to appease me, and then she stopped working again. She has never given me a good reason why she can't go to work, even though her employer has simplified her job duties to accommodate her illness. She sleeps in every morning because she can't sleep at night. Usually before bed, she surfs the web on her phone, even though I've told her that the light would stimulate her brain to stay awake, but she insists this is the only way she can get to sleep. She won't take anti-insomnia meds as they leave her too groggy in the morning. I believe that my fiance doesn't love me and is conflicted about me living with her. Ergo, the glacial pace. Ooh, that's glacial. I haven't had that in a while. involved in cleaning up the apartment. It's like she can't fully accept me as her partner by making space for me. However, she denies any feelings of conflict. I can't live like this anymore, and I'm seriously considering leaving, even though I love her and I don't want to leave. Should I stay or go? I don't see things getting appreciatively better anytime soon. Then you go. Really, what you should have done, you knew this was house was all fucked up before you moved up in there. Why you move in there? See, this is the part that drives me crazy. If you was gonna move in there, she wanted you to move in. You supposed to say, well, as soon as you clean up all that bullshit, I'll move in. Because right now, there's no room for my stuff. Where am I supposed to be, and where's my stuff supposed to be? It's like packed with your shit. So no, as soon as you do that, then I'll move in. Other than that, I'm staying in my own house, and that's what you do. But just like I told y'all last week, see, Kitty, then would be some feral cats. Because I would take them out to the mountains and then turn them loose with their litter boxes and stuff. It's just more stench and more work to do. Then, she don't want to clean up. That's when you get, Julio's cleaning service to come up in there. They bring them three big men in there. You say, clear all this shit out. Put it in, just dump it, all of it. And then they start hauling shit out and put it on the truck. And what's she going to do? Shit's gone. Oh, look at this nice clean house. But you got a woman who's depressed and having all these mental and emotional problems, and your ass is disabled. It just sounds like a bad situation in duplicate. I don't even understand how the two of you are together. It's like there's nothing here for you, sir. Some booty, I guess, but that's about it. The bitch is crazy, and she's a hoarder. So why? I don't understand what it is that you think you're getting out of this relationship. You're just scared to be alone or something? I mean, so I mean, that's on you. Do you want to be in a situation that's sanitary and you have room and it's comfortable and relaxing? If that's the case, then move out. If you don't mind, smelly cats and litter boxes and cat hair everywhere and a bunch of shit all over the place, well, then stay there and stop writing to me complaining. Those are your only two choices. Okay? Because sometimes like when people are depressed, if their environment is cleaned out, their depression kind of lifts. So that's your third option. Like I said, Julio's moving service, hauling and you whatever, and they tell them just take all this shit except for the furniture and the walls, take it all out. All these boxes of shit, all these bags of extra clothes, all the stuff, just dump it all, get it out of it, all of it out of here. And then she gonna sit there and they gonna be taking the shit out. Yeah, and it's dusty and shit you breathing in. That's a respiratory. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But personally, that's why I am not. I don't even like to go to people's houses that have animals because the animals is hair everywhere. You sit down on the couch and the hair gets on your clothes and shit. And then you get in your car. Then the next thing you know, that animal's hair is in your car, and then it's on your clothes and it's in your house. No. As people say, oh, I have two cats. I have a cat. I have a dog. Is it outside or inside? Once they say it's an inside pet, I don't go to their house. And well, I'm going to come to your house. No, you're not. Because I don't want your cat hair clothes all over my furniture and my carpet and stuff. I'm going to meet your ass at Starbucks. That's what we going to do. I don't want that in my house. Question 19. This is a female, 50 to 56 from Nashville, Tennessee. I am very scared of my daughter. She's in her early 20s. However, I need to tell her she needs to leave my property. I don't live there. She moved in without my permission because my mother gave her the keys and moved her in there without my knowledge, although she knew I wanted to sell it. She's been very violent and unstable since puberty. She's getting all kinds of help and was even given a hostel where her friend lived too. However, she simply left as it wasn't good enough for her and she didn't want to stay and wait. She lives a champagne lifestyle funded by my mother. She doesn't want to have any responsibility to grow up at all. She said she has borderline personality disorder and don't know if this is an official diagnosis or not. She said she read it on the internet. I don't know what to do as she threatens me with violence. She has also teamed up with her father who violently abused me. When I left him, he stalked me for years and continued to violently attack me in public on the street. He would break in and stand at the end of my bed in the early hours of the morning. I could go on and on about the scary and horrific things he did. He even attacked people who had any association with me. Try that with me, you're going to be dead. The courts and the police warned me my life was in danger and that he, quote, lacked empathy. When she got wind that I wanted to sell before, she drove a good few miles to my house to threaten me. She started kicking my door, continuously screaming and shouting. She then started to approach my neighbors and was shouting obscenities about me. We called the police and she was laughing, saying, I'm going to wait for them. They took her away and spoke to us. She turned on the manipulative tears to the police. My mother called me and berated me for calling the police. I grew up in a very violent home and I was very affected by it, but I always tried to soldier on. I ended up seriously ill in hospital last year, which I think was caused by being surrounded by constant bullying. I have even been too scared to go to the property to take photos. Can you give me any advice or solutions on how I can approach this? I am terrified. Where are you? Nashville. Okay. So you got some property. Hmm. If I were you, I would make plans to leave the state. I would leave the state and the house that I'm in now, I would sell it and I would take that money and I would leave the state and not tell anybody, my mother, nobody where I was. Then for that house that your daughter moved into without your permission, you arrange for with some real estate company to sell them the house. You could sell it at, a steep discount, whatever. Say you all go by there and look at it. There's a crazy girl in there, so you go at your own risk, but I'm selling you the house at a $25,000 loss, whatever. You just want to unload it, right? So you get whatever money profit you get from that, you take that, have them put it in a bank account for you, and then you are gone. Okay? And then she can be your mother's problem since your mother thinks it's such a good idea to have her around there and take care of her. Well, we don't even want to go for eviction. We want to sell the property out from under her so that the new owners can evict her. We don't want her wrestling with this girl at all. You're going to leave the state. You're going to sell the house. And see, once you're out of the state, see, you can sell the house, remotely, whatever distance. Say, oh, I'm not even in the state anymore, but here's my bank account number. So you go by there, you make an offer, whatever your offer is, I'll accept it, and then we'll be done. And just make sure my money, when the escrow closes, make sure my money's in my account. That's all you need. And then be done with your crazy ass mama and be done with your crazy ass daughter and let them go and live together if they want to. If I were you, that's what I would do. I'm telling you what I would do. I would not stick around in Nashville, Tennessee for none of this drama. You can move to a big city like, I don't know, move down to LA or somewhere, San Diego, some big ass city where you can get lost in all the masses of people. They'll never find you. Question number 20, female, 26 to 29 from Patterson, New Jersey. So my partner and I are engaged and living together, and he has a dog. I've never owned a pet, so it took me a while to get used to. Over the course of our relationship, we have had arguments over that dog, whether she can sleep in the bed or not. My partner has issues with me controlling things and making decisions on my own. So the other day I told her that I was feeling a bit crabby PMSing, and if it is okay that the dog can sleep on her own bed some days, he agreed. But last night, as we were getting into bed, the dog started barking and it annoyed me, so I decided to put her in her own bed. My partner was in the toilet at that time. When he came out, he asked me why the dog was in her bed, and I said she was annoying me. He started to get angry at me because I was yet again controlling the situation and making decisions on my own. However, from my point of view, I discussed it with him a few days before. But now I realize he wanted me to discuss it with him every time that I want her out of the bed. As a result of this, I have not only found that he loves his dog more than me, but that he would rather sleep with the dog than with me. Yesterday, after our argument, he decided to sleep on the couch, which I thought was unnecessary. I also asked him that when I'm pregnant and have my mood swings because of hormones, will he leave me alone by myself then too? And he answered with probably. Now I don't feel comfortable with this. And when I need his help when I'm pregnant and I'm being horrible because of my hormones, he won't help me. What should I do? Is it worth staying in this relationship? Are you stupid? What would you even have to ask me that for? You admit that the man loves his dog more than he loves you. That's all I needed to hear. Once somebody tells me that they want the dog in the bed and they want the dog in the bed more than they want me in the bed, I'm done. I would have packed my shit and got the fuck on that right then and there. Okay? There would have been all this conversation. And even the fact that you even so stupid, you sitting up there thinking about getting pregnant in a situation like this. What's wrong with you? What is it you think having a baby with somebody who don't give a fuck about you and cares more about a dog is going to do to for your life? What's it going to do for the kid? The dog has got such a close relationship with him. That's the kind of dog that gets jealous and wants to kill the baby. Lady, if you don't get your shit and get the fuck out of this man's life, I'm telling you, Fido will be having a steak, one of my special steaks. Oh, I'm gonna leave, but I have to leave with you fucked up. I'm not gonna, you not, It's like, oh, my dog died. Really? How sad. That's too bad. What you gonna do? Oh, I don't know. I just really loved my Fido. Oh, yeah, I bet you did. Well, gotta go. That's I'm saying. It's like, no, you know, you not gonna do me like that. Your dog is not gonna do me like that. So somebody, both of y'all about to get punished for this shit. You gonna be heartbroken for the rest of your life looking at pictures of Fido. And Fido gonna be in doggy heaven because of my special steak. Yeah. I like animals in zoos and forests and woods and oceans and lakes and shit like that. I don't like them in houses. Well, he wouldn't have a choice because Fido wouldn't be amongst us. Fido would be in doggy heaven. And then he would be like, oh no, now I don't have a girlfriend or Fido. I'd be like, yeah, that sucks for you, don't it? Life is so hard sometimes. Mm, what you gonna do? And that would just be that. I wouldn't give a fuck. It's no anyway to answer your I'm telling you, in the forest, the woods, all that. That's where they belong. Bambi and shit, jungles, all that kind of stuff. That's where the animals should be. They should not be in houses. But is it worth staying in this relationship, you say? The fact that you feel like you need to ask that question. This man is not making you a priority. So why are you there? See, just hanging on to something that's being desperate. I would have so been through with him. Soon as he wanted the dog to be in the bed with us, I've been like, oh, hell to the no. I'm out. Question 21, female, 225 from Boston. I was in a short 3-month relationship a few years ago with some random dude I met on Tinder. He was 28, 4 years older than me. Extremely toxic, manipulative, gaslighting, jealousy, anger issues, and more. So I broke it off. Good for you. You found all that out in 3 months. Good. Over the years, he has called and texted me several times, usually months in between, asking how I've been. I've ignored them all. This week, he called me, texted me, asking for another chance, and this time left something on my doorstep. I don't want him contacting me or coming to my house at all. I don't want to block him because I'm not sure how he will react. It's very frustrating because even after all this time, he hasn't gotten the hint that I'm no longer interested and I just want to be left alone. I don't want to give him the satisfaction of getting a response from me. Any advice on how to handle this is greatly appreciated. What is it that you think I don't want to give him the satisfaction of a response from me? The only way you could do that, and if you had done what I tell people all the time, is to change your phone number, then you wouldn't be having this problem. But see, you didn't block him, nor did you change your number. And so this is you created this problem yourself because you continued, as I said all through the show, to continue to allow him to have access to you. You have no standards. You have no boundaries, just like millions of other young women. Y'all don't have no kind of nothing in place to protect yourselves from idiots coming into your life or staying in or revolving in and out. You don't have any. Just if they want to be there, you just let them in. What the fuck? That's not how it's supposed to work. Okay, men are supposed to earn the privilege of being with you, not just show the fuck up and you just open the door and let him in. Girl, if you don't block this fool, and you're like, I don't want to block him because I don't know how he's going to, who gives a fuck how he's going to react? Of course he's not going to like it, but you know what? You don't give a fuck. You worry about yourself. And you don't want to be bothered. Now, if you don't want to block him, then just change your number. It's real simple. The number that you have now, you can forward that, you'd have to be paying 2 phone bills, but you could have that big phone forwarded to to a Google number. Yeah, so it's all on how you want to handle it. Because sometimes people don't want to get rid of the number because, like, all the business contacts and stuff have it. In which case, you just, like I said, you're gonna have to just pay for two numbers, but you can forward that phone permanently forwarded to your Google line, and then you get you a new cell phone with a different carrier, completely different number. That's what you can do. Okay, but right now, he's showing up at your house and all this kind of stuff. That's the kind of thing, like you said, you don't want to respond to him this, but you have to respond. You're gonna say this: do not call me ever. Do not text me ever. If you show up at my house again, I'm gonna call the police and report you for stalking. Stay the fuck away from me. I don't want anything to do with you, and I made that clear 4 years ago. Now you want to put that in a text because that's gonna be your evidence if you have to go back to court. What he did, you need to get you one of them ring doorbell things, right? I see them on TV. That shows who comes up to your house and what they be doing outside your door and all kind of stuff. Get you one of them. They can't be that expensive. And you install that, and then, you can have that as evidence that he's still coming to your house. Tipping because the way I've seen it, they show like the approach and to the street, all the way to the street, on the driveway, everything is shown by that ring doorbell, depending on how your house is configured. But they can see you. It shows everything. So you'll have a recorded record of him showing up at your house after you have asked him not to via text, which has a date and a time on it electronically that can be pulled from your cell phone carrier as and used as an attachment to your petition for restraining order. You see where I'm going with this? So handle your business, girl. You're not doing nothing the way that you're supposed to be doing it. Honey, yes. Kids and B, I'm telling you, Google needs to sponsor my show. At least the Google phone number thing. I have recommended so many hundreds of women have gotten a Google phone number because of my recommendation. I cannot recommend them highly enough. It's just it's just a life. I mean, they have like other electronic kind of voicemail phones too. But I like the Google one because it's connected with your email and everything is, connected. So you don't have to have an email here and the voicemail here and what's on your phone here. They have it so that you can structure everything. It can ring right on your phone as an alternate number. It's just perfect. So anyway, that's my recommendation for you. Let's move on to question 22. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Pensacola, Florida. Oh, before I forget, if you have a question that you want to submit to What the Fuck Tuesday, which is happening on Sunday today, and then it'll be on Tuesday as well. But if you want to submit a question for this column, you're a brave soul, you don't mind getting cussed out and told that you stupid and stuff like that about your dumb shit, your crazy decisions and your lack of boundaries and all that. If you don't mind getting checked and told about yourself, then write in. If you have sensitive feelings, I'm not the one to fuck with. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't write me because I will clown you. Okay, if you do some dumb shit, I'm gonna tell you it's dumb shit. I'm not gonna be holding your hand saying, "Oh, well, maybe you should have made a little bit smarter decisions." I'm gonna say you on some dumb shit. What's wrong with you? What the fuck is you thinking? I'm gonna talk to you like that. So if you down with that, you can handle it. Look in the show description down below, and you'll see a link that says submit your advice question. Click it, fill out the form, press send. If you are sensitive and you might get in your feelings, getting talked to like that, don't do it. Just listen to the show and laugh at other people's misfortunes. Okay? So let's move on. Question 22. She's 26 to 29. I just stopped talking to this guy because he judged my sleeping habits. My girl, that's what I think. I'll break up with a motherfucker because he talked about my hangnail. He is in the military and wakes up at 4:30 every day, so he says. It's true though because he would text me good morning every day and I would respond at 7 a.m. just so he wouldn't think I was lazy since I got that vibe from him. I currently work part-time, but it's from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at a tutoring center. I also make pretty good money hourly, so it makes up for a full-time job. Anyway, who cares? I shouldn't even have to explain my wages to him. But one day I forgot to wake up at 7 and text him. Instead, I woke up at 11:30 and said good morning. And his response was, "Oh wow, you woke up at 11:30?" And then I lied and said something like, "Oh no, I just went to jog at a trail with my dog and didn't have a signal, so I just texted you." LOL. Yeah, right. A jog in the morning. What is this? And she put like the rolling laughter emoji. He just seemed impressed and happy with the answer, and we just kept talking for the rest of the day. I tried shaking it off just so being too sensitive, but I couldn't get past it. The next day, I told him I just wanted to stop talking to him because I need to be alone for a while and focus on myself. He still doesn't know it, but it was mainly because of the sleep comment. It's a simple comment, but to me it means arrogance or belittling someone else. I don't think that anyone should have to explain themselves. He also used to send me dirty pictures. Oh, here we go. Dirty pictures and videos all the time without my consent. I blocked him on everything 4 months ago, and he's been calling from a no caller ID number almost daily and tries to add me with fake Instagrams. I might be overreacting, but oh well, this is just how I feel about this situation. I can't stand pompous, I'm better than you people. Change your number. Change your number and get you a Google phone number. These men you meeting on some random site should not be having your real cell phone number. How many times I have to tell you women that? These dudes don't deserve your real number. You get your number and you have it ring to your phone as a secondary line, right? You can do that. And it will ring right to your phone. You don't need to have these motherfuckers calling your real phone number. So when you decided, and honey, Google is the block king. You put somebody on block on Google, they ain't getting through ever. Hell will freeze over, and they still won't get you. Okay, email all that. They don't play. They block game is on hit. So that's why I love it. So that's what you need, girlfriend. And and the number two thing with your 26 to 29-year-old ass, too old for this, to be pretending that you're something that you're not. If you can't even be authentic to I mean, what is this? Why would you pretend to be all of this kind of stuff and lie to the dude? Of course you're gonna break up with him because you're not comfortable. You're not showing him who you really are. When he says you woke up at 11:30, you're supposed to say, yes, that's right. I sure did. You got a problem with it? Well, yeah, because this and that, blah, blah. Well, motherfucker, I'm not in the military, so I don't need to wake up at butt crack of dawn. That's you. I'm a civilian, different lifestyle. Either take it or leave it. Something like that. I mean, you don't need to explain yourself to him, and neither do you have to defend yourself. You just tell him to shut the fuck up. With his waking up and eating beans ass and marching and shit, all that bullshit they do in the military. Ain't nobody trying to do all that. And when you waking up at 7 o'clock to text his ass, he would wait until I woke up. If you don't want to wait till then, then fuck you. You don't know what you want to do. This is too much. So don't do that anymore, okay? Get your Google number and stop trying to pretend to be something that all these different dudes want you to be. At the end of that, every guy you meet, you're going to pretend to be something and do something that just impress him and appease him. At the end of all of this, say you meet 10, 20 dudes you talking to on the internet, week here, month here, and you talking to them, and then every one of them you trying to lie, pretend and change who you are. At the end of that, who are you really? I mean, you haven't shown anybody your real self, and that's kind of trifling, really. Okay? Let's move on to question 23. This is our next to last question. Ooh, and this 24 looks long as hell. This one's not too shabby either. Okay. 26 to 29 from Santa Cruz, California. So my boyfriend and I have been together for about 2 years, and we're doing really well. Let's call him S. So S is really, really smart guy. He loves to read and discovering new things. He's the type of guy that actually is really smart and doesn't even know it. He likes to talk a lot and explain things to me, which I don't mind because he's a few years older and I do learn from him. However, his thought process is so fast. He just goes from topic to topic to topic to topic, and then suddenly it's been 15 minutes and he's still talking. No. Most of the time, what happens is either him or I will bring up a topic, he'll comment on it for a bit, and then when I start to talk, he remembers something that interrupts me, which, okay, once is fine, but then I try again and he does it again. And then he changes the topic, and then he tells me about the blog he found and all the things that he read. Then a problem he had at work, then an epiphany he had because of it. And then what he ate for lunch and an issue with the delivery guy, and he goes on and on and on. And when he is finally finished, he kind of looks at me with a little embarrassed because he knows he's talked too much, but also disappointed because I really didn't have anything to say. By this point, I've forgotten what it was I wanted to mention earlier and even what topic we started to talk about. He used to go to a shrink, and she suggested him that he go to a psychiatrist and see if he needed to be referred any medication so he could slow himself down because he thinks too much and talks too much, and it mentally drains him and tires him out. Him? What about you? I mention this so you can see it's not just me being a bad girlfriend who doesn't want to listen to her partner, although I know I could be better. But give me a break. It's been 2 years. Basically, I just want to be able to explain this to him, but I know he'll take it the wrong way. I just want him to shut up. I want him to slow down so I can actually listen and have an enjoyable conversation. Instead of driving, you have to listen to a 15-minute speech. And I need to say this in a way that doesn't make me sound like a complete bitch. So any help provided is greatly appreciated. I don't know. See, I never worry about sounding like a bitch because I don't mind being one. First of all, okay, this kind of thing where he's giving you a lecture. That's essentially what it is. He's giving you a lecture. And so, what would Deb do? After about 2, 3 minutes of that shit, he would get this or this. And I said, "You talking too much. Shut up now. It's my turn to talk." Because, conversation is supposed to be two people. You say something, I say something. You say something, I say something. The way this is like I feel like I'm in a university lecture hall. You just standing up there at the front with the mic just running on and on and on at the mouth. And nobody else can get a word in edgewise. This is not a conversation. And so then he would just be looking at me, right? Because I already know how to. They just be looking at you like, oh, well, I didn't realize. Well, but I had so much to tell you. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. You talk too much. You talk too much. I don't like men that talk too much. I want you to be the strong, silent type. I don't want you to say shit. If I ask you a question, then you give me an answer. Other than that, I need you to be quiet. Okay, quiet. I like quiet. That's why I live by myself. I don't want to hear no noise. Okay, a bunch of voices talking. I barely even watch TV for that reason. Even when the TV's on, I turn the thing on so you have to read it because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So it's like I couldn't have a boyfriend like this. He would already got cussed out. But at some point, you're going to have to tell him, you talk too much and you take over the conversation. You dominate the conversation so nobody else can have anything to say. It's not fun having a, quote, conversation with you because it's so one sided. You need to work on that. And that's what you tell him. I don't understand why you got to, you're so concerned about his feelings, why he's wearing your ears out. I don't know. I don't worry about men's feelings like that. Because I feel like, I'm stuck over here listening to you drone on like your ass is some kind of talking machine. And it's like I'm looking for the off switch and there isn't one. You just going on and on, diarrhea of the mouth. I don't want to hear that. Stop talking. You talk too much. Shove some sandwich in his mouth or something. That's you? Girl, no. Don't be doing which one is you? To tell him to shut up or the one that's talking too much? I just thought it could be either one because I don't know which one she means. But if it's the one where you keep talking nonstop, girl, you need to cut that out quick. No. I just can't do that. I knew a dude like, oh my God, he used to talk so much. I would be like, well, I'm not going to say his name because he might be listening. I'd be like, dude, really? When are you going to stop talking? And he'd be like, what do you mean? I'm like, God, you've been talking for 10 minutes now. I'm tired. Why? I mean, you've said everything. And he would just like this. He going down. He start with one memory, telling you something. Then he going to branch off into something else and then something else. Something. And then before you know it, he's talking for 10 minutes about some irrelevant shit and some people that you don't know about, some place you never been, and some situation you don't give a fuck about. But he done talked about for 10 minutes and you just sit there just staring in the fucking amazement that somebody has that much to say about nothing. Yes, it's annoying, and it's even doubly annoying when it's a man because then it's diarrhea of the mouth and it's a deep voice. That does not work for me. Okay, here we go. Here's our last question. Last question, and it's a long one. Oh my God. Question number 24. She's in the 25 to 29 age group, and there's no location provided. I'm in a dilemma, and I really need advice because I'm not really sure how to move forward or even address this situation. So, first, let me give you a little background about us. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 2 years. Some of the things that really drew me to him was his adventurous spirit, his love to travel, his big heart. I've always been it's been important to me to travel and see the world since my parents have been making me travel since I was young because they aren't from America. When we first met, one of the things that sparked our interest was we both needed people to travel with, and we agreed to see the world together. So, during our almost 2.5 years of being together, the only place we've been is Vegas, and that was with his brother and his sister. I've been expressing to him for the past year that I really wanted to go to Aruba. However, it hasn't been much of a priority for him. But Last week, his sister called and asked if he wants to go to Aruba with her and her daughter. Of course, he said yes. It annoyed me because whenever she asks him to do something, he jumps. This past Christmas was our first Christmas ever together, and we were going to make Christmas breakfast and spend the morning watching Christmas movies. But his sister called him at 10 a.m. and said she needed him to come help her set up tables. So guess what he does? He leaves Christmas morning to go help her set up tables. We've been talking about getting married and engaged, and he told me that as soon as his money is right, we'll get engaged. But all of his siblings are getting dirt bikes this summer, and now all of a sudden, he just has to spend $2,000 on a dirt bike so he can ride with them. Really? Also, the two of us just had a big argument a month ago, and he goes to his sister and tells her every detail. Now they're telling him to leave me. He is 28, but I feel like he is very too much influenced by them and does everything they say. But he is the youngest of five, so I can understand. I asked him if I will ever be his number one priority in his life, and he basically told me that until he's married, his sister and siblings and his mom will always come before me. He never has my back and always lets them talk bad about me. Why would I want to wait until marriage for you to prove I'm the number one woman in your life? What if it never changes? I really don't know what to do if I'm being dramatic. I feel like he's very attached to them, and it's going to be hard for him to detach. I also have fears that he's going to end up just like them. They're all in their mid 30s, and none of them are married or even in successful relationships. His brother and sister are mid 30s, and they live in the same house. His sister lives upstairs, and his brother lives in the basement. They try to give him advice, but they don't even know what they're talking about. I try to encourage him to do better than the people that are around him, but I fear he will end up just like them. Single and average. Is that mean? I don't really know how to feel. I feel about all this, but how should I even approach it? Also, his mom has told me that all of his girlfriends and girlfriends don't like their family. It's kind of like they take pride in that. They're not very friendly or welcoming either help. Why are you asking for help? Just leave him. See, my thing is this. This is my thing right here. Motherfucker tells you to your face that you will never be his top priority. See, the thing, when when you're getting married, the feelings and that kind of commitment, that kind of support and taking care of each other don't start the second you say I do. They're already there. Marriage, the ceremony, vows are like a public confirmation that this is the person that you have chosen to take care of and protect and love for, what we say, the rest of our lives. So the marriage ceremony comes after the feelings of this kind of, you're number one in my life. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to love you. I got your back. I'm going to never let anybody hurt you, this kind of thing. The marriage comes after those feelings, not as a result of the marriage. That's where he's confused. So I'm going to tell you this. A man tells you to your face that you're not going to be his number one. All these other bitches is going to be his number one. Then what I would have told him is, well, then you need to go fuck your mama and your sisters then. That's what you need to do and get the fuck out of my face. Take your dick with you. Bye. And that would have been that. The relationship would have been over on the spot. I'm not gonna let nobody. And then he gonna spend. You want to get engaged. He gonna tell you, put you off talking about he's gonna get engaged. But then suddenly he magically he got $2,000 to spend on a motorcycle. He gonna use like for a couple of months and it's gonna sit in the garage. You can rent those. You don't have to buy them. So all in all, I'm looking at this situation that you find yourself in, and I'm wondering what it is that you're getting out of this, except for hurt feelings and feelings of being dismissed and ignored and made to not feel very important. This relationship, I'm sure there's something that's good in it somewhere, which is why you're staying. But overall, the level of disrespect that you are accepting is phenomenal. It's just phenomenal, and it's shocking that you're still there. And that the time you're still there and you're writing to me about it instead of executing your goodbye plan. This family's telling him to leave you. You should have helped that along. So they're right. We should break up because you care more about that bitch and your bitch ass mama than you do me, and I'm not having it. One thing I'm not gonna have is a man in my bed fucking me who cares more about some other bitches than he does me. I'm just not gonna have that. That's not gonna work for me. So take your shit, get your hush puppies and your toothbrush and your spare underwear, and get the fuck out of my life. That's what I would have told him. I don't have no problem getting rid of a clown. And one thing that I'm not going to accept, like I told y'all the other day, I'm not going to accept disrespect from a 5-year-old that I birthed. So why would you think I would take it from some motherfucking bitch's son? That's just not going to happen. And she was lucky the mother telling me if nobody likes our family, I would have said, yeah, I can understand why, because y'all is a whole bunch of crooked ass fucked up people that nobody really should like. There's nothing about you to like. So yeah, I understand that. Then they would be like, oh my God, get out of our house. You don't have to tell me twice, bitch, I'm gone. I don't want to be here. Take your raggedy ass son and shove him up your ass where he came out from. I don't even want to be bothered with none of you motherfuckers. I'm out and be gone. I just don't. I'm just like in amaze. I just don't understand why so many women accept disrespect. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it from my daughter. I'm not taking it from my boss. I'm not taking it from nobody online. I'm not taking it from any man that I'm in a relationship with. I'm not taking it from his fucking mama. I'm not taking it from his goddamn sisters, his raggedy ass brothers, his trifling drunk ass uncle. Nobody. Nobody. Now I'm not saying you can't try it, but be prepared for the repercussions. Because if you try some disrespectful shit to me, don't be upset when I rip your head off. Because my mouth is foul, and I'm gonna go in on you like there's no tomorrow. And I have an extensive vocabulary, so I can cuss you out with some 10-syllable words with a few motherfuckers thrown in there. You know, so it's gonna be bad, all bad for you. Leave me the fuck alone. If you can't respect me, then just leave me the fuck alone, and we'll both be happy. But yeah, girl, you got a problem here, and you need to make some adjustments in your romantic life because this dude is not the one. It's not. He's too childish. But anyway, that's our show for today. I'm glad I'm vertical and I actually made it all the way through. I feel myself breaking into a sweat, so I probably need to take my other antibiotic and go and lay my ass back down. But I will be back on Tuesday for What the Fuck Tuesday as scheduled. And since I'm on the mend, we got the DNN will appear on this coming Friday as was scheduled for this past week. I just couldn't do it, y'all. I couldn't make the slide. I couldn't do anything. I just laid in the bed feeling sorry for myself and my stomach hurting. So that's what we got going on. So remember, mark your calendars. If you're not a subscriber to the Deathrism channel already, please hit that subscription button before you leave and feel free to share a link. There's more than 900, I think it's about 945 videos on the channel now. So if you go to the search part, just type in the search word, find the videos that you like, and then share a link. I will love you. Talk to you real soon. I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Bye-bye.